hallway was full of skeletons, kind of not mole people necessarily, but kind of humanoid that looked like they had been in a huge battle long, long time ago. As we walked in, they all like sit up and look at us, but they only animated enough to pay us attention, but they didn't do anything. So we left them as they were and found our way to the end of that kind of hallway cavern where there was a big stone door with, wasn't that the one with like the motif on it with the smaller figures fighting bigger giant figures?
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm. And it looked pretty impossible to open. So as we looked around, we found a hole to the side of it that looked like mole person sized. So we were able to clear that open a little bit more and make our way through. Made our way down what eventually turned into a paved walkway. And we came to this, like, what was it, like an 80-foot tall wall, right?
Is that the building we're at? Or we
Yeah,
were at?
yeah. And Vimex sent Clem up and over the wall to see what was on the other side. And there wasn't it like a big, like, was it mechanical
Very
creature?
large. I don't
Or
think
was it a bone
it was
creature?
a creature, a decaying skin creature,
Right.
and it was very large, very very large. Kaito wanted to bust open the door and see, even though it looked like something we probably couldn't tackle at the time.
Because it's what, a gigantic or humongous something or another, right? It's like
Mm-hmm. And
5 squares wide.
I think we still needed a rest.
Yeah, we still hadn't long rested, right?
So we decided to indicate where that is, head back out, because we found Franklin.
Mhm.
And we sent Franklin back.
Well, because we learned that he had not come along with any others. All the others that were with him, he had
Mm-hmm.
sent back because he noticed that there was danger and didn't want to put them in danger. So there shouldn't be any more mole people in the tunnel down that way. But yeah, and then yeah, went back, gathered
So,
everyone, and advised them to get ready to go back to Delruth. And I think we're just waiting. We took a short rest, right, while they're doing that,
mm-hmm,
and then yeah,
we're
and
going to
then
be
agreed.
escorting them back to Delruth, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And hopefully come back with stronger forces, or more manpower to take out that big beast. Because there were also big giant statues, like statues of giants,
Yeah, cloud giants, right?
cloud giants,
Yeah.
outside of that big large room holding the creature. So we think the creature's either protecting, either it was either locked away in there, or it's protecting something. So it's
Mhm.
some place of interest to us still.
And I'm hoping
That
that
was so
Luana,
much. That was
yeah.
such a lot of stuff to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of wandering around and digging in the dirt.
Okay. Is cubed back now?
Just a long, extended recap. It was a mid-season recap episode. So, and we were at the cave entrance, correct? Staging to go.
I mean, well, and I feel like, with a group of us, there traveling at night would probably be better because then at least some more people can be like out and about and keeping watch as well. And we can help protect them if need be. Versus during the day, we could probably travel faster, but it'd be fewer eyes able to keep a lookout. So traveling at night should probably be a good thing, right? We'll consider that part of my contribution to the conversation with the team. Well, what about you all? Any recommendations? Do you think we should instead try and travel during the daytime?
I say we go with them. So if they want to travel at night, we travel at night.
Hey, Price. Oh, Price, do you think Scooter would want to walk with us? Give him a chance to spread his wings a bit? An extra pair of attack goose eyes probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, Price will summon Scooter. This time he'll probably click open his briefcase and like just see him poke his head in and just whistle, and then he'll set the briefcase down and probably beak first. You see Scooter emerge. Oh, yeah, not so. Price is just prone right now. Yeah,
I mean, sounds like a classic Scooter, giant ornery goose. Altani will
it's
just be kind of looking on with eyebrows raised, like, well, he definitely seems a little frustrated and mad more than the last time I saw him. Price, is that normal? You all right there, buddy? And I'll go over and help him up. Sure.
that's for Price trying to get Scooter to calm down.
Hey. I can imagine that. Torment him and mm, Goose needs some catharsis. Got to get some of that aggression out, huh? I just imagine we we see Scooter just kind of dragging Price around like in and out of the frame of like Scooter while trying
Um, it's probably he's just like got one finger out. It's like, no, don't.
Can I try to give the help action for Price by mimicking everything he says? I definitely want to get down like I'm crouched and I've got my arms out like a World of Warcraft kind of character would be sneaky. You know, they always throw their hands out somewhere. And I'm gonna approach the goose and I'm just watching Price shake his finger, and then I start shaking my finger too, and I'm just going, no, 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 Goose. Just to see if it could maybe give him some advantage. Okay. Okay. We're back. Mm-hmm. Gnome's not one to like flail around or anything. He's more like, like a wet cat, right? Somebody who just immediately slumps and is defeated and put into this position. And so he's just angling. And I'm going to look at Price and say, I don't think you know how to tame that bird.
Oh, well, it's work in progress. Scooter, set him down gently.
Yeah. Gently, Goose. Scooter. Yeah, well, I'm really acrobatic, so what can I do about that? All right, I do a flip and then a superhero landing. Here, we'll roll for it. And then I just walk it off because I'm just used to being cool like that. Or used to being thrown around, I guess. Yeah. Yep. This is the X. It doesn't look like somebody who's just like the most reflexive person in the world. It just looks like, oh, he's been in 87 snares so far that it's like thrown him around in the air, flipped him upside down, and it's just very. I know exactly where to move each muscle to just land and walk it off so that I could do it again tomorrow.
I was just thinking though
Right.
how elite the goblin training is turning out to be.
Mm-hmm. Centaur taught us how to dig with our feet, so I'm gonna pass that along to the tribe.
I don't know if dig is the word I'd use for what he did.
Hey, we were doing it together, right? We were doing like little donkey kicks backwards,
Yeah, I would have called him donkey kicks, not digging.
but that's how I'm gonna report it. This is the ultimate digging technique. Nobody can dig better than a centaur.
Oh no, I've been muted the whole time. Dag nabbit. I thought I unmuted. Well, pretty much, Scooter has been very ornery.
So what do we do next?
Basically picked up. Yeah, let me do a quick quick recap here.
How are the mole men, like, are they basically ready to go? We're just waiting for the right time.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry,
Okay.
I just realized the stream. My mic for the stream was muted, so I'm just getting everybody caught up real quick. Anyway, feel free to RP.
Um.
So the
So yeah, I
TLDR.
guess if we're all kind of ready to go,
Yeah, let me do this.
we're just waiting.
The TLDR
Let's see.
was Price summoned Scooter. Scooter jumped out. The checks on the side were Scooter was very angry from previously when they had people ride Scooter. So Scooter's a little ornery today. And then Price summoned him. Scooter popped his head out, basically ran out, ran him over, was about to start, like, dragging him around. And then Gnome joined in with the handling of the animal, and Scooter's attention was changed.
A lack of excitement with this group.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
So Scooter picked up Gnome,
What's that supposed to mean?
and Price said drop him. To which he did
Good thing? Is that a bad thing?
from a height, and yeah.
Gnome with his -1 charisma has his index finger shoved really far into his nose right now, and he just says, "What?"
Digging for gold? Hello? Hello? Anyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I was wondering.
Sorry, I had like all my kids came in at once, so I didn't hear anything.
It's okay. It's okay. I just wasn't sure if my mic was acting up again. Kaido asked if you were digging for gold.
We can dig for gold. As my finger's still up there, and you can see like it moving around like a shark fin coming out of the water. It's just like the finger's swooshing around this really bulbous green nose. And I'm gonna look around and squint and just where do we dig for the gold?
You're already digging.
I look down and I think I understand, and I just start donkey kicking the ground.
I just been like, that's not that. Never mind. Just it's all right. We're fine.
I'm gonna
And
turn
I'm-
to Gnome and be like, and put my hand aside and be like, she was being silly about you picking your nose. Did you find any treasure up there?
I pull it out, and it's just a big old slimy booger. And I go, nope, not this time. Should I flick it or eat it?
I
And
mean,
this is honest advice he's seeking.
there have been some studies saying that eating your boogers can improve your, immune system, but
Immediately eats it.
I was gonna say, but I don't know how fruitful it is. I mean, honestly, with your physiology, you probably can't do anything but stronger, right?
Oh, she's getting
Well,
robotic.
boogers block your sense of smell, but your mouth can't smell. So it should be fine.
Sound logic.
You got any you need picking? I'm really good at it. My uncles make me do his all the time.
I'm gonna take a deep breath and just. No, they seem pretty clear, but thanks for the offer. I'll keep you in mind.
Ido,
What?
need me to pick your nose?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Just one of the services I provide.
I appreciate that.
I'm
Well,
also good at
the-
carrying all the things, checking all the traps, looking for monsters.
Yep, you've been doing really good so far.
As Gnome is listing off all this stuff, Price is just like putting out one finger at a time. Just like thumb, index finger, just kind of like as he's counting them off, Price is just kind of like it's a checklist,
Yeah, I'm gonna Bubba Gump shrimp it, right? And I'm just gonna be I can block swords for you with my body. I can block axes for you with my body. I can block arrows and other projectiles aimed at you with my body. I can cover mud holes and let you step on me. That way you don't get wet. And then he just goes down like a really exhaustive list of just like the most like degrading stuff that you would make somebody do, right? But he says it with like these are accomplishments, these are tasks, these are things he's been specially trained to do.
I detect a note of professional pride.
I don't want to brag, but I'm the best in the business. Nobody removes boogers and snot like I can. Are there any mole people around us?
Oh, all over the place. Like you're in there like a little encampment. How we kind of
How big are their
envision.
noses?
Um, they
This is the
are.
thing now. So
I would say they have like, the long snouts. Kind of,
I
I'd
want to
say elongated faces.
I want to get right into their personal space and ask them. I have long nails, and these are formed so that I can get really under the crusty parts. And sometimes you pull it out, and it's 2 or 3 inches of like dead skin and slime and mucus. And then you feel really relieved at how well you can smell. Do you want me to get in there and service you?
They just kind of look at you, and
What do
they
I need
seem to
for
have
this? A persuasion?
uh, hmm, probably a performance, honestly. Because if you recall,
Oh,
they don't
I
speak
still have.
common.
All right, let's do a performance where if my performance is -1 like my charisma, I just show them with my other nose and see if I can pull out something long and gross and then like present it to them. That's a critical success.
uh, I mean, I think based on a -1 charisma, uh, yeah, you definitely convey something to them,
uh-huh.
and they they don't seem to be wanting what it is you're offering, as they are at this point they're almost done like packing up everything in their little caravan, their little circle caravan kind of deal. Is there, they seem a little busy. They did, I mean, after all, just have their town have to get evacuated from their homes. There
Yeah.
was chaos, there was death. So, well, they're just like, we're a little busy, but they don't say it because they don't. There's a language barrier between you and them,
Yeah.
but
I could
they
So,
imagine a
graciously
mhm.
scene.
decline.
I could imagine a scene of like, like adults trying to do things and like a kid comes up with something that's really exciting or like a story that makes like no sense. It's like mostly gibberish.
Yeah.
And the adults like they want to be encouraging and kind. And so they're like, oh yeah, that's great. And like they have no idea what's actually being discussed. But they're busy. So they're like trying to continue doing what they're doing and not be interrupted, but also like not be mean. Like, and I
Mhm.
could see Gnome like walking around being like picking his nose, be like, do you need this?
And I kind of like I'm
Adorable.
gonna do a translation of it, right? And say what they seem to be saying to me, you need to get into the game early, or that's how it is back home. Otherwise, people draw up contracts and they are not going to switch providers mid-service. Like you get in early, you don't get in at all. So I was hoping that since we're bringing them to our new town, right, and they're going to be new mole people, new villagers, whatever. I'm not sure if that's accurate. That's just what I think is going on, that maybe I could get in, but I think they are already happy with their provider. And then I'm gonna pat Price on the shoulder and say, "But we tried," as if he was gonna go on this venture with me.
I just get like a thumbs up from Price.
All right, I'm done picking noses. I'm ready to play.
All right. Well, probably around that point in time, they get everything packed up as best they can. They don't have, they don't have horses or beasts of burden, so they kind of have to, you know, take what they can, carry what they can, just via their own methods. So you'd see like they've made some like some makeshift wagons, some wheelbarrows, stuff to help carry things, but for the most part, they're traveling pretty light. Or they're ready. I should say they're ready to travel pretty light. They're at this point. It seems like they're kind of waiting for the go ahead from you guys, because it seems like you're volunteering to escort them to town. So Franklin would probably walk up to the group.
So, I think we're just about ready to go. I guess, I, well, it sucks that what happens, but, you know, we got who we could, and, we don't necessarily know the way from the surface to where, so maybe, you know, if you kind of sort of,
And he's just like moving his hands like he's trying to struggle with the words, because he's talking at the group, but he's focused on Price, because he knows Price interacts with them in Undercommon.
So, if you guys are ready to go, we're ready to go with you.
Yeah, I think we're pretty ready to go. How many, I know how many of us there are. How many of you all are coming along so we've got a number so we don't lose track of folks.
So he would immediately at asking that question, he immediately pulls out like a little ledger notepad looking thing. Actually, these are mole people. They don't have paper. He pulls out a very thin slab of stone with some chiseled words on it.
Let's see here.
Bryce is gonna
123.
Oh god, that is I thought there were like 13. Price is gonna pull out his little notebook that he, jots down wagon theories and whatnot in, and he's
Perhaps we
gonna
should set up a buddy system.
he's gonna flip to like toward the end where it's a blank page. He's gonna write that down. He's gonna write Franklin's name and then write the amount of mole people, and he's gonna tear this page
123.
out, and he's gonna hand it to Altani, and just be like, "Oh, so I know you got good eyes. There's a lot of people we had to keep track of. I wrote down the number here. Whenever we decide to maybe stop or periodically take a breather, we should probably take a few moments to make sure we have all 120 some odd mole people."
123.
No, that's quite a few mole people. Maybe we should also kind of split up the group a little bit to travel with groups of the mole people so that, we don't accidentally lose anybody on the back end.
I mean, we could spread out around them, right?
Yeah,
Kind of
and
like herding.
yeah, maybe could you send Clem like to the back, because then he could probably fly back to you pretty quickly, right?
Yeah. As long as it's 60 feet away.
I do wonder, do people actually legitimately believe Clem exists? Because he's never been visible. Does Vimac just have an invisible
I can
friend?
walk
Doesn't.
back.
Bryce is like not convinced.
Well, you saw my magic flying out of him when you were abducted.
Yeah, which is even more strange. He's no idea what's going on.
Well, he wouldn't have, because Clem was invisible. So
Yeah,
Bryce
I
just
just
saw
saw
the
the
name.
Eldritch Blast appear.
Yeah, okay. Come out from nowhere. Yeah.
Well, Kaido would say that I can just ride in the back. If something happens, I'm fast enough to catch up to the front.
That's true. And in fact, um, why don't we? Well, let's see. It's been how many hours since my original thing? Has it been a total of more than 8 hours cubed?
Let's see. Since you were in that cave, you activated it. It has not been 8 hours yet.
Okay. So, I'll just kind of look at Vimek, Kaito, and let's see. I think it was Price who also had it. Yeah. And just think at them, be like, and I can hear you if you need to send me a message this way. We still have a little bit of time left.
All right.
And
I'll
also,
stay behind and try to make sure no one dawdles.
since you had left the cave, you haven't heard the voices.
Okay, good. Nice. So as we came out, you guys probably saw me like just huge sigh of relief, and just this look of complete and utter bliss on my face. It's like finally some quiet.
You think it was that weird creature that Vimac was saying was in that building? You think that's where the voices were coming from?
Well, possibly, but there were many voices. So either many entities were somehow trapped in it, or it was, I don't know, amplifying something.
Were they all like different voices as far as they were all saying like different things and it was jumbled? Or was it like different voices kind of echoing the same thing? That makes sense.
I will answer that by asking Cube.
If you recall, it's like being in a room crowded full of people all yelling
Right, but did they
intangible
sound like,
words.
but did they sound like they were the
Illegible.
same person with multiple voices, or did they
Nope.
were like different voices?
Different
Like
voices.
distinguishable? Okay. All right. Well, I will relay that to Price. It sounded like probably different voices, but gosh, they were just all yelling at me. It was pretty
And
unintelligible, but
how
Mhm.
many of those statues were there again?
I'm not sure, but
Wasn't
a fair number.
there was like one in the middle, and then there was a few others that were behind them, kind of in what looked to be like a formation.
There were 6 or 8.
Yeah. So that's not. Sounds like you were what you're describing sounds like a lot more voices than just that.
1, 2, 3, 4,
And
5.
Anyway,
that could be, but definitely something that we should maybe explore more when we come back.
oh yeah. Well, and to your point about asking Luana about all this, I'm curious what all she knows about cloud giants.
Me too. I didn't realize they were still around. Not till we met old Vimac here.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
we got-
I just gonna like look
got
at
big-
Vimac, then look at Peggy, you like, howdy, what?
We got big guy here, but I'd never seen a cloud giant before. Um, hmm.
Well,
Well,
I'm just a Goliath of the cloud
oh, you're
dependency.
you're
So
more than that to us, Vimac.
Yeah, unlike someone just being the druid, you're not just the Goliath.
Oh yes.
Sorry, I had to.
Way to bring that back.
Welcome.
Price. You see Price just kind of stands up a little straighter. Well, I walk with Scooter, and if you guys hear a really, really loud honk, that means there's an emergency.
Got it. I'll be walking in the
Good
back.
to know.
Kaido will wait for everybody like to start shuffling before he actually started following, obviously.
All right.
Should we go 2 by 2? Like
Hurrah.
Like, Gnome,
Hurrah.
if you, because normally Kaito would put me on his saddle.
You're welcome to
Maybe
ride if you
Gnome,
want.
if you want to hang out with Kaito, and then Altani and Vimac, y'all can lead us, and Scooter and I might hang around somewhere in the middle.
Sure, that works. And I'll take a little bit of like a scouting lead so that I can double check things since I got pretty good perception. So I'll, in fact, while everybody's getting into a formation, I'd like to kind of go a little ahead in the direction that we're going to just scout it out, make sure there's nothing waiting for us. Nice. And right now I am feeling so inspired by the group and the fact that we were able to at least save a good number of the mole people. I'm hoping it's a good number. I mean, if there were thousands beforehand, it's not such a good number, but you know, at least no more of them will die on our watch, hopefully. So I am just
Alright.
like laser focused on what might be around us.
Did she give herself the inspiration? Let's check. All right, you gave yourself the inspiration. Okay. So with that, you would be able to. Well, first off, you'd know. You're kind of knowing. You pretty much know which direction you're going. You're essentially just trying to. Well, I guess.
Just scouting ahead. Make sure there's nothing like, you know, like big predators or bandits or anything that might catch the group unaware.
So, are you trying to retrace your steps that got you here, or just sort of heading back in a general direction, like knowing where you want to be?
I
Probably
wouldn't
general
retrace
direction.
our steps. Yeah, we don't want to go near that bone pile.
Okay,
Right.
just checking.
Yeah.
So, with a natural 20, you would hear some rustling in some bushes nearby ahead of you.
Oh,
Mm.
no.
I would like to stealthily go check it out.
And we're caught.
I think I must be feeling like a little cocky with like how easily I picked up on the
Oh, no.
rustling.
You were just used to everything being so loud with those voices in your head. You think you're being
Probably.
quiet.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So you move up. Let me do a private roll here.
And are we supposed to be seeing a map?
Not yet.
Okay. Just double checking that I wasn't somehow like in the wrong screen.
So, because it is nighttime, so I'm like, this is a good background.
Perfect. Yeah, I like it.
So you would definitely hear some voices, and they sound like.
Yes. When they get here, we take them. We take their stuff and we stab them. Remember that? You remember? I remember. You remember? Yeah. Stay
Kind
in
of like
bush.
the Three Stooges.
Well, I will send a thought back to Vimac to spread the word that we may have some bandity booyogs ahead of us.
Okay.
And sounds like they want to stab us and take our stuff. So I'll kind of just wait where I'm at for, and maybe have be like, hey Vimac, why don't you quietly tell the rest of our group to come up ahead of the mole people. I think we should probably take care of these guys before that large group comes up and causes chaos.
Wait, you hear that?
Well, that was mental. I was telling
I
them
know.
telepathically. Oh, okay. Okay.
You did a stealth. You did a stealth roll.
Okay. I will start to, let me see. Okay. I will start to send out Clem to people and let them know. And he can speak common, so you'll just hear a voice telling you.
Well, I can also.
What's it
I mean,
sound like?
I can let Kaito and Price know because they're also mentally connected to me. But
Okay.
I want to hear what Vimax sound or what Clem sounds like.
Hmm.
I feel like he's
Um,
cooking something up.
I'm trying to think because I wouldn't hear his voice because we just communicate telepathically, so I don't hear his actual voice much at all.
But wouldn't they hear it? You said he was going to
I
talk to
know
them,
he
right?
is going to, but I'm trying to think of what his voice would sound like because
uh, it's his familiar. It's intelligent. It's able to speak. What's it sound like? I mean, you heard
So-
Franklin's voice.
yeah. So, who was the closest person to me of our group, other than you, other than
Price is next in line.
I guess
Okay,
Price would
Price.
be probably.
So, you will hear a voice above you, flying above you. Watch out for a ambush coming. We should deal with them. That's what Vimax says.
Ooh, what? Price is just looking up and around. Scooter?
And at that moment, Clem will remove his invisibility. Hi, I'm Clem.
Oh, you're real.
Yeah, I've been here most of the time.
No, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So sorry.
That actually kind of makes more sense now. So wait, you said we're being ambushed?
Yes.
Okay.
So we might need to deal with that. I'm going to go tell the others.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Mm-hmm. That thing is real?
You just shook Price
And
to his core.
he's going to he's going to re-invis and fly back to the next person.
Bryce is gonna, as soon as he goes
Kaido's
invisible again,
embarrassed.
Bryce is just gonna rub his eyes and he's gonna look around for a sec just to make sure he's not just imagining things.
And in Clem's thought process is, I need to go invisible because if they just see a random imp, they might think it's an attack. So it's better to just hear him first than see him first.
That seems logical.
Oh, what's
So
that
who's
gif?
next in line?
Kaito?
Kaido's at the very back, and Keith never answered if Gnome was going with him or going to stay up at the front with you guys.
Oh, sorry. I took a bunch of medication and I'm so like.
Oh no, you're perfectly fine.
Out of it.
I don't know what you would
I
decide.
would go with Kaido.
Okay.
So they're together, like,
He'd probably be on my saddle.
okay. So you will, you're relatively tall.
Mhm.
The voice will be kind of next to you,
Mhm.
off to the side.
They're re-invisible then?
It's invisible. Vimac said that there's going to be an ambush and be prepared to deal with it.
He's gonna like rub his ear and like, Atani, was that you? Thinking he heard it in his head.
Will I hear that mentally?
I mean, that was the implication.
You're right. Okay, so I'll just be like, no, but you guys might be getting a visit from Clem here soon.
Sweet alto tones is Clem.
And then Clem will drop his invisibility, waving at you from
Oh.
like your head height, but floating alongside you.
Is he speaking
Or
common?
flying.
Yeah, he's in common.
Oh. Huh. Okay. That's
And
all kind of.
he'd be very similar to the imps that we had fought. Just he
With
is
him having
a
started with Vimax says, he's pretty
What?
sure some random imp from before wouldn't just start talking to him
Yeah.
saying Vimax says. So he's like pretty sure this is one of Vimax. Because he does remember Vimax didn't really want to kill any of them.
and then after he waves at you.
He's smarter than he looks, I promise. Barbar doesn't smash.
Oh no! But I was just trying to so because you're seeing him for the first time, he would look very similar to one of the imps that we fought, but
Oh, I have no idea what they look like either.
his coloring is lighter than most
Mhm.
imps,
Oh.
and he has kind of like
I don't know what D&D imps look like.
striping colors,
Like a candy can striping or tiger striping?
kind of like more big wide striping, but still
So he's a
of a
candy cane.
lighter tone. And he
It's-
after he
No, I
waves
closed my
at you, you
browser,
say,
damn it.
okay, bye.
Nope.
And then vanish, invisible,
Oh.
visible,
Okay,
then-
bye.
and flying off.
Huh. He should have told me what direction the ambush was coming from. He's now like looking
Who's
around. being
ambushing us?
Did not say. We're just be prepared for an ambush, I guess.
Where are the bushes?
That's a good question.
Can we, like, for me, the best way to deal with an ambush is to ambush your ambusher. So
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna, I want to try to just visually
Hold on, let
see
me
where, because
see if
with Goblin.
Tawny knows.
Mhm. Oh, this is OOC to the DM.
Oh, I thought
Um,
you. Okay.
Yeah, no, as a goblin, this is probably like the go-to like tactic for us, and also skirmishing, right? Guerrilla kind of like tactics. Do I have any insights into where would be a good place to ambush an ambusher? Would I see anything that's in our path coming? Because obviously it's going to be somewhere where we're going to be headed, right? So can I get like a feel for this is where, a kobold or a gnoll or something might try to grab us, and then me and Kaido, like if I could look at it and perceive it, maybe I could convince him to sneak us to the other side.
Well,
You could probably give me a, let's say, survival, because that's a terrain-based influence.
Yeah. 7.
Right over there.
That's exactly where I point to Kaido, and I just like, instead of just sitting in a saddle, I'm like walking across your back and like holding Scooby-Dooing over your shoulder so that I can kind of look at you, right? But I got 2 hands on your shoulder and peering over, and I say, we should ambush the ambushers. They're going to be right over there. And I just point, and it almost seems like I just pointed randomly, but I have such confidence in my expression.
Oh, that's what imp looks like. Oh. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
and I will think back to Kaito, be like, so it seems like these guys are in front of us. So as you catch up, I suggest we maybe stop the mole people where they are. And Kaito, you and Gnome should come up and price.
Well, from my
And
experience
everybody.
of ambushers, they usually try to have someone obvious and some not obvious. And they like to
Well,
go for the middle to scatter everybody.
well, these sound like booyogs, and they don't really sound that well prepared.
This is telepathic to Kaido.
To Kaido,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and Price, and Vimac. Well, Vimac already kind of knows, but so I'll mentally be giving you an idea of where where I am and where they are. So when you come up, if you spread out, I think we could spread out around them. Doesn't sound like there's many, but we should probably leave the mole
You're
people
100%
back there a bit
certain they're
further.
booyogs.
I mean, they sound like the ones that were talking in the town, and I haven't yet met any other, peoples around here that talk quite like that. So it's a pretty
But
unique
why would the
dialogue.
booyogs from our town be trying to hit somebody that's with us?
I don't think they're the booyogs from our town. I mean, there are other booyogs in the world.
Right. I knew that.
I'm gonna kind of be like sitting like, wow, does he think that there's really only the booyogs in the town and that those are the only ones that exist?
Well, he doesn't exactly know what a booyog is other than what you call the booyogs in town. He don't know. He thought
Well,
it was like a custom
okay.
name for them because he knew them as goblins.
Oh, okay. Well, the booyogs are the like magical goblins or like
Yeah, he
the
didn't know there was
cooler
a
ones, yeah.
particular name for magic goblins, is what I'm trying to say. Kaido don't know. He just went to college and ran for people. He doesn't know what's going on.
Fair enough. Be like, you got to get out more, Kaito.
I just got out of college. Leave me alone.
Point still stands, but you're doing great.
Give you a point.
Hey, I got some booyogs you could give that point to.
You're the one who earned it.
Double it and give it to the next guy. So, so hopefully the mole people can like stop and stand in a group and maybe be like, hey Price, could Scooter maybe keep an eye on the mole people for us?
Well, yeah. If they're just booyogs, why don't you just go like shoo them away?
Well, because I'm not sure if there's anybody else with them.
I don't think
And
I don't think all 5 of us need to go slaughter booyogs.
well, okay, you have a point. Well, at
I'd
least
already been off.
get
You want to
get ready to save me if anything happens.
Hey, Otani.
But
Kaido, not knowing you're talking to Price. Should we let the mole people know about what's about to happen?
sure, just let them know that there's some goblins up ahead. We're not, and so if they hear a ruckus, not to worry.
Being told not to worry tends to make people worry.
Well, I leave it to you to figure out how better to tell them that.
All right, not doing it.
Hey, Altani, should we tell the mole people something about this? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing to tell them. Okay, great. Whatever you think is best. Okay, I'm not telling them anything.
Well, you told him to tell them not to worry about some ruckus. And he's like, telling people not to worry makes them worry. They'll think of something better. But I can't, so I'm not going to do it.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. I'm leaving it in your very capable hands and hooves.
Did you hesitate because you forgot I had hands?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Then why'd you hesitate?
Because I was trying to give it a humorous pause between hands and hooves. Because I didn't want to neglect the fact that you also have very capable hooves. It's not your
Do you
hands
hold
that are
things with
just
your feet?
capable. I mean, my feet are pretty capable for doing foot things. So I assume yours
But do
are
you
too.
hold things?
Aren't we about to get ambushed?
I mean,
Why are you guys
sometimes.
talking about feet?
All
I
you
mean-
hear is Altani's half. I forgot about that.
Kaido had a weird obsession with me talking about hooves. I don't know. And what
You
I do with my
started it!
feet. and he can't hear you defend yourself.
I know.
Okay, so where do I hear this wrestling? Okay. Oh yeah. All right. So
On a map.
I am. Let's see. Let me check. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Let's see. Just want to see if I have any of this left here. Okay. Let me just remind myself what this does. Okay. So I'm going to just boldly walk out. Oh, maybe. I'm just going to kind of boldly walk out here and be like, I sense some booyogs in the area. They wouldn't be so bold as to possibly be attacking a big boss now, would they?
3 goblins jump out of the bush with rusted scimitars brandished at you.
Give us
I
your
will,
stuff.
You
Or
dare
else.
speak to a big boss this way?
You know,
I
big
think
boss. Yeah.
Oh, really? Says who?
They look at each other.
And I put my hands on my hips to look extra
Am I
intimidating.
supposed to be able to see a 4th goblin?
Yes.
Okay.
He is currently
You-
upside
Can I
down.
see a goblin?
Yes, he is currently upside down in a snare trap of their own making.
Do I
Amazing.
recognize the goblin?
This is a different tribe. No familiar markings.
Okay.
Mentally, I'm also going to send a message to Vimac to, if he can, get huge and walk over.
Kaido, not knowing that you just were talking to him necessarily or what in particular, he's gonna be like, Otani, there's one upside down, just so you are aware.
Oh yeah, the one, I think I walked by one. He seemed pretty helpless there, so I just left him.
So we can see them, I guess, from where we are.
At this point, now that they've jumped out,
Price is gonna say to Altani telepathically, um, uh, maybe we should have Gnome talk to them. He is also a goblin.
Send him on over.
Hey, Gnome,
Send
you
who
want to go
over?
try and talk to them? See
Okay.
what they're up to?
Did we get together? Or are we still in like our quote unquote formations around all the mole people?
They did ask us to go up, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember. It happens
Yeah.
so fast, guys.
Yeah, you guys left the mole people
I was
kind
too
of
busy picking on
behind.
Otani. I had no idea. But okay,
But
we are up there.
I did, although Price, did you want to go ahead and leave Scooter back there with the mole people?
Yeah. I almost picture Price as kind of hanging back with them as well, because he just
Okay.
doesn't feel like. I mean, he can obviously get up there and help, but there's a lot of
yeah.
people to look out for, and I guess his thought process is
Just in case there's more.
this could be a distraction,
Mm-hmm.
and they're helpless, and we
Hmm.
can take these people out really easily if we have to. So he's kind of sticking back, like maybe a little bit suspicious that something else might be around. I don't know. But same sort of thing that he mentioned before. If you hear a really loud honk, that means there's an emergency.
That sounds good. Yeah, let us know if you see anybody over there.
And as long as it's a mile is the telepathic or the
Yeah.
telepathy thing. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. So yeah,
Yeah, I'll be
we
able
have
to hear you.
plenty of range.
so what were you doing?
Didn't I have Gnome come over and talk to him?
Yep, I'll come over. I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna approach the one that's in the snare upside down, and then I'm gonna take this long sword and unsheath it off my back. And just in Goblin, I'm just gonna look up at him and say, "Wow, you're kind of an idiot, huh? Who gets caught in a snare? You're terrible at your job."
All part of plan. You distracted now.
I'm gonna cut
You
him
could give
down
me an
immediately
insight.
just to watch him land. I feel like this is the ploy. So I'll do the insight, but I still want to just cut him down just to watch him fall. Oh, well, that's kind of low.
You can't really tell. But you do cut him down. I'll just do a raw roll here. Okay. So you cut him down, and let's see.
Oh, I'm not being friendly.
Oh, I know.
So as I cut him down, I want to keep my sword out and just say, my tribe says that I'm going to cut your head off if you do anything weird, and even if you don't.
So
This is how goblins negotiate.
yeah, hostile negotiation.
And I'm going to point to Kaido as if Kaido's the big boss.
So you're like
Wait,
over here.
Visualize.
So you cut him down, and he lands on his feet. Pretty effortlessly.
I curse under my breath, and I'm like, damn it, he's really good at his job. But I can't let him know that he's good at his job, because this is potential rivalry.
Yeah.
This is my area of expertise, right? This is my trap to find, not his.
I guess technically you never specify in the contract if the traps have to be of your own group or not. Alright. So you have your sword pointed at him, and he has his hands on his hips. Actually, let me.
Yeah, upright. Yeah. And what you do about it, huh?
Do you serve the Big Steves? Or do you serve the Booyog brothers?
We no serve none of them. We the
Where's
Bloodfoot
all
clan,
your-
and we take your stuff. Give us your stuff.
Yeah? Well, we're the Kaido clan, and we take your stuff. I'm just gonna headbutt him. Even though I've got the
Wait.
sword, I just want to break his nose with my forehead.
Give me
seeing
an
this
attack
can
roll.
kind of
Is this all taking place in Goblin?
Yeah.
Yep.
All in Goblin.
Aw,
Okay, so
damn.
I
Except
can't
for the word
understand
Kaido.
it.
Oh.
Kaido would have seen me point and say his name at least twice so far. It'd be like, Kaido, blah, blah, blah.
Having heard his
Kaido.
name twice, kind of would have stepped closer, wondering, like, are you asking for my help? Without actually saying anything. But he has that look on his face. It's like he's not sure if you're asking him for help or if he should do something. He doesn't know, but he would.
I
would
was
step
sent
closer.
specifically over here to rob them of all their stuff and to figure out where their tribe lives, is what I was told, basically. They said to talk to him, so here we are.
Mm-mm.
All right, and you said, give it an attack roll?
Yep, because you're headbutting him.
Yeah, I'm just forgetting where all my, because it's not under spells. Oh, inventory. Why are my fist in my inventory? All right.
Because you
That's
had your
where I
hands in your
left them.
pockets.
Yeah. 10. This is embarrassing.
So you go to headbutt him, and he. Yeah, he ducks under it.
Yeah, you're not taking my stuff. I'm taking yours.
Oh, I'm so mad that I missed. And then I'm just like, No, I'm taking yours, and then I'm gonna try again, and we're just gonna whack-a-mole with heads for a little bit with the extra attack.
All right. So he's gonna. Yeah. You know. You know. You know. Gonna take my stuff. You can't even hit me. And he sticks his tongue out.
I'm gonna headbutt his tongue. Oh fuck! All right.
Let's see. Yeah, he would win that. So.
Yeah.
It's your last chance. You know, give stuff. We forcefully take it. And at this point, he's like, he has like a rusty scimitar like pointed at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a focus point to get the flurry of blows so that I can get a third unarmed attack. Actually, I think I get or no, two more unarmed attacks, and I'm gonna do one hand on my left and one hand on my right, and it's balled up, and I just say I've got two things you can have right now. You want them, and like this is tough talk for a goblin, right?
Yeah.
Even though for everybody else it would be like Joe Dirte step up to the mic, one test, test boom. And so I'm just gonna shake them like I got coin in them, and I'm just gonna do a double tap. I don't have to keep clicking the button. I can just press attack roll, and that's the left, and that's the right.
Those two would connect pretty easily. So you know what we could say, because I've been doing oppose rolls as opposed to like an attack roll.
Yeah.
So we can say this actually narratively was more of like a hand to hand like grapple fest. Like, you know, you went to like try and grab him, and he like pushed you away, and then the second time you went for the second headbutt, he like maybe put you in a headlock for like a split second, and then this is like while he's got you in like a headlock and like demanding your stuff. Like this is like it hadn't devolved into like weapon attacks yet. It's just like a couple of dudes fist fighting in the forest.
Here. This is physical goblin negotiation tactics. So I want to get a slap in the back of his head, right, and then a smack in the cheek, like open handed, but no damage. No, this is a slap fight and a dodge fest and just head noogies and just almost kind of like a Looney Tunes when they turn into like the ball of smoke and they're just rumbling and tables are being broken, right? There's no damage going on here. It's just goblin roughhousing. And it's like, I'm gonna rob you. No, we're gonna rob you. And it's like, no, we're gonna rob you. No, I'm gonna rob you. We'll see what happens.
So both of those, let's see. Let's do the oppose roll. So you would definitely win. Like he has you in like, you know, the headlock and like probably about to give you like a pretty nasty noogie or, you know, whatever in these kind of negotiations, but you managed to wriggle yourself free and effectively, you know, get a head on the negotiation. Meanwhile, Tawny's over there. So what's all Tawny and Vimac and Price doing? And I guess Kaido, you're seeing this. You're seeing two goblins just grappling and rolling around in the
Kaido
in
has
the
seen
dirt.
me really
Okay.
fight and
Can
like
I-
fight for our lives. He could probably determine that we're not killing each other, but we're doing some weirdness.
Can I just
Slap fighting?
walk over and like try to just hoist the other goblin up and like time out him in the air? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
you pick up somebody up by their shirt, you're just like time out, like they can't actually touch or reach nothing. They're just swinging wildly.
Give me
Or-
an unarmed attack roll.
Or would he be able to tell by gnome that he doesn't want this interrupted?
I don't think Gnome would be giving you any signal for it.
One way or the other.
No, I don't think he would be able to tell. I don't think Gnome's giving any kind of like, don't interrupt this. I think he would be confused, and it's like he thought maybe we were gonna save this goblin because I freed him from a trap, and then we started slapping each other, and then he had me in a headlock, and now we're
Okay, then
pulling
yeah,
hair.
Kaido would try lifting him. You said to give you a what roll?
An unarmed attack.
Uh,
So if you're not proficient with it, it's a D20 plus, I believe, your non-proficiency bonus. So D20 plus strength or dex, I believe, is for unarmed.
I would imagine strength,
Yeah, because you can be a
right?
strength or
'Cause
dex monk.
dex seems more acrobatic.
Yeah, well, it's like because I was trying to remember monk stuff. It's like monks get to choose between like if they want to use strength or dex, and you know you could be a strong monk or a precise monk. So you're
By 12.
moseying over here, trying to break
right.
this up.
Mhm.
All right. So he's yeah, so as you're trying to break this up, just like how Kuth described it, it's basically just a flurry of just cloud and fists and like feet sticking out of it, and they're just rolling around, and you know you're trying to grab this guy's collar, but you know they're just it's a chaotic amalgamation of feet, torsos, and legs flying all over the place, rolling around.
Hmm.
They're not really able to, you know, it's a couple of like two dogs fighting or a couple of cats fighting. It's just so chaotic you can't really get a beat on like you know grabbing the
And
collar.
we are
Okay.
fast, like, and
May I
scrappy.
try
so it,
something different?
In a moment.
He's gonna take a water skin, open it, and just chuck water at him, trying to get him to just stop.
Why do you think they are cats?
I want to catch it in my mouth.
Maybe.
He's supporting me in my endeavors. He knew I was thirsty.
You know, when
And then-
people are
and then
fighting, you
it
like
still-
startle them with something that's like so mundane
Yeah.
and like whatnot. It sometimes snaps them out of it enough to like get them to communicate.
It does the opposite, and I point at Kaido, and still in Goblin, I say, "Big Boss is gonna rob you too," and then just glug glug glug. I catch the water.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there like a I can't was it Gnome that didn't like taking bath or something? Maybe I'm thinking something else.
Nah, that wasn't me.
Okay. Different character.
That's Bryce.
No, it's Gar. So it's almost like yeah, big boss just toss you a water skin, you know, get you ready for round 2.
He believes in me. He's seen my negotiating tactics, and he's proud. I could tell.
So while that's going on, I would say Vimac and Altani can hear some kerfuffle in the shrubbery nearby.
Ah, distraction work. Now give us your stuff. Or else. Or else? Or else?
And the goblin in the front looks to you,
Or else, right? Yeah, or else.
and then he looks back. Yeah, or else.
I'm just gonna be like, or else what?
Or else we'll take it.
And how are you gonna take it?
We stab you.
And he
Oh, yeah?
waggles his sword in front of him.
I'm
Can
gonna
I wanna-
be walking up to this and overhear them take our stuff. And as I'm walking, I'm gonna grab a branch from among the ground. Let's see. Oh, this is my stuff, and I'm gonna toss it at him. Here you go. That's my stuff.
Wow, your stuff is terrible. Even we have better stuff than your stuff.
Is Vimac like visibly wearing any like armor or anything?
He has armor, but he doesn't have a weapon on him yet.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a bound weapon. So
Give us your stuff on your body.
You know what? You guys have convinced me. You're obviously so big and strong. How about this? If you can catch my daggers, you can keep them, okay? Here. Ready?
So the goblin in front puts his sword away, and he looks like he takes a stance. So that would hit.
And I don't really ideally want to kill him, so I'm not going to use my sneak attack just yet. But 8 damage. Yeah. And as it hits, I'm gonna be like, oh gosh, that looks like you caught it kind of funny there. Are you doing
Oh.
okay there, buddy?
Hit point check.
Seeing that, I will manifest my sword, my great sword, into my hand. And I'll be, oh, that's what we're doing.
So it
And I'll
looks like
just toss it
So it looks like
at
he
him.
tries to grab it, and it hits him in the hand, and then just keels over.
Stupid. You know catch good. My turn.
And then this next one steps up.
Okay, I'll attack him with my offhand. Let's
You
see.
guys just hear off in the distance. You guys are fucked.
So that would hit.
This is gnome inspiration. Love it.
And I forget. So the other one was, I'm gonna do. Let's see. I think it was that damage, or just one or no bonus for the offhand,
Sorry, I got
or
a
one
little,
d6.
getting a little
I forgot
robot-y.
what my hand was.
Am I getting robot-y?
Oh.
No, she's robot for me
Oh.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard it too.
I think I have a bad connection. Hold on, let me try something. Can you guys hear me any better now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. New cell provider, and I think it's not great over here, so switch to Wi-Fi only. Hopefully that helps. So I was just saying I couldn't remember if my offhand was D6 or D4. Do you recall?
It's the same weapon damage, I'm pretty sure. It's just with no bonuses.
I thought the offhand
Oh,
was
okay.
different.
Yeah. It
it
was
doesn't add
before.
ability
Yeah.
or anything.
Right. So then we'll just see what it came to here.
But I'll check.
Let's see
Been
what
a while.
So if I just do, I
Rogue,
think if I do -3, because that'll
Soul
even
Knife.
out the bonus. So 2.
Finesse thrown. Let's see. Finesse
So D6.
thrown.
Okay.
1d6. Weapon damage. Blade offset. Okay, let's see. Here it is. After you attack
The,
with a blade on
the
your
psychic-
turn,
Mhm.
you can make a melee or range attack with Psychic Blade as a bonus action on the same turn. The damage die for the bonus attack is a D4 instead of D6. Okay.
Well, it's still
But-
within D4. If you want me to re-roll, or do you want to use it too?
Just re-roll it because technically it's not
Okay.
the right dice.
But
Sounds
it
good.
also applies your ability modifier to damage on your
On the offhand?
mhm.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's not a
Well,
real,
then-
it's not two-handed fighting, so it
Yeah.
doesn't have that. That's kind of the trade-off, because if you want to fight with 2 real weapons, you could use like the dagger with the nick property, and you could use both attacks on 1 attack action, and you get your
Right.
bonus action to use for cool rogue stuff. But since you're using psychic blades,
Yes.
it is a D4, but you do get your bonus added to it.
Perfect. Thank
Is-
you.
He is
Well,
a
then,
goblin.
great. Glad I re-rolled that. That was a 6.
He's a goblin named Gnome. All right. So he tries to catch it.
Oh man.
And then the third
that's
one steps
bad.
up. Yeah, they stupid. I'm the best here. My
Like,
turn.
All right.
Give me your
why don't you
stuff.
try catching Vimax? Might have better luck.
Yeah, I will manifest my great sword, and I'm going to toss it to him like sideways so he can catch it.
All right, give me an attack
Right?
roll.
It's not an attack. Like I'm just tossing
He just wants to
Oh,
mess
just
with
throw it
him.
to him. Ha ha! My stuff! And he picks it up and starts running.
it, and then I'll just recall it.
Let's see how big would it be for you? What kind of sword was it?
It's a great sword, so it's a big two-hander.
So I'd say he get to at what point do you want to summon it back?
Well, it has
Like, how
a
far away do you want him to
range
get?
and like a minute, I think. Um, I'm looking for my back to the blade there.
Let's see. Eldritch Invocation. There's a bonus action. No, we're looking for the range on it. Use this feature bonus action again if the weapon is more than 5 feet away from you. If the weapon is more than 5 feet away from you for
more than
1
a
minute,
minute. Okay.
or if you die, a conjure weapon disappears.
Yeah. So I'll let it last a minute. It'll come back.
So he scampers off somewhere, unless you want to throw daggers at him.
Well, I guess I mean, I could, but I think it'll be funnier to see him coming back like, wait a minute. I'll be like, oh, good job. You really got us.
I got this stuff, boys.
Let's
Look at
follow him.
this.
So I'm gonna follow after him.
You hear that? I got this stuff, boys. Your turn.
So while you're doing that, well, so if you're following them, then the sword won't disappear.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's but he can choose.
It will
to
because
go
it's greater than 5 feet. I'm not.
Well, it's more than 5 feet away from you for a minute.
I know. And
So.
I'm letting him be more than 5 feet away from me. So.
Right. So I figure we can let it be and I'm hoping to see if he'll lead us back to whoever was part of his group. Which a minute should give us that time.
So let's see what other people are doing. As you're following a goblin who has acquired loot. Actually, let's say we get to about here when we do like the...
Okay. So then we would be back here.
When we do the camera switch. Because this is all happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
So, what's Price doing?
He's still hanging back a little bit. He's at this point he's not concerned about these goblins at all. But he's almost kind of just trying to keep watch just to make sure that there's nothing else. You know, there's not going to be like a creature coming out of the woods seeing a meal of old people just sitting there waiting for them.
And over our telepathic link, you're just gonna hear me being like, honestly, this is hilarious. You're really missing out. We'll tell you all about it when we see you again. But this is really funny.
So, Price, give me a perception.
Righty. And I'll add guidance if that's all right.
Yep, it's not in combat round, so
Hey.
guidance right into a natural 1. Unless you wanted, let's see, how is it? Yeah, because I think you can inspiration it.
I don't have one. Yeah, I guess narratively, Price
You
is
can use
hearing.
mine if you want.
Yeah, we've had like 3 nat 20s
If-
tonight.
True. Okay.
Oh, Junie. Okay. All right. So with a 16, so despite like the mole people, just in travel, quote unquote travel formation, yeah, you do see some shuffling in bushes nearby. Doesn't seem big, but there's definitely a lot of shuffling in the vicinity.
How far away would you say it would be?
Probably, I don't know, 30-ish feet. 30 to 40-ish feet, give or take, somewhere in that vicinity, maybe,
Okay.
with a 16.
Let's see.
And, like, it's on either side of, like, the mole people. Surrounding, as one might say.
Okay. Let's see.
Sip of my beverage, hydrating.
Uh, hmm.
And her passive
Right.
perception. Okay.
Bryce is gonna say in undercommon. Kind of just like generally to the mole people. Um. There's some wrestling. Uh, over there and over there. Just want you all to know, I'm here to keep you all safe. Um, if there's any potential danger, my goose here is gonna let out a really, really loud honk. So if I say to cover your ears, you're gonna want to do that real quick, all right?
A bunch of mole people nod because you're saying it in a language they actually understand.
Alrighty. Let's see.
And also give me a persuasion.
Do I? Okay. Would I know?
Because you would see some people kind of looking at each other like, is something wrong? Like, there's definitely the potential for some onset panic.
Hmm. Ugh.
We'll see how that plays out. All right, what else?
Would I know if they have dark vision?
Mole people?
Yeah, like I'm assuming that because they like to travel at night, like they can see well in the dark. I'm just because I know how dark vision works as far as the mechanic, but I'm curious as far as what my character would do right now. I don't want to blind them.
Well, you know that they definitely don't like traveling during the day because it is very bright for them. And the only ones that you've really seen above ground have like these really thick, like Professor Farnsworth-esque goggles on.
And I guess, do they have those on now? I'm assuming not, since it's
They do not.
nighttime.
Well, they
Okay.
don't, but also, they kind of have to leave their homes in urgency.
Yeah. Hmm.
So if you were to cast like light, it probably wouldn't be too terrible for them. But if it were like daylight, like if it was dim light, definitely wouldn't be an issue for them. But if you were to do like a daylight spell, that might be an issue just because of how bright it can get.
Okay. Let's see.
Sunlight. That's sunlight.
So I guess. Hmm.
Blinded by the light.
He's gonna. I guess he'll light a torch. Which would provide enough light to where, if I'm not mistaken, like he'd be able to see. How does dark vision work exactly? If there's regular light.
So the rule is written is in like no light at all. You can see as if it were dim light. So, perception checks would be at like disadvantage in complete darkness. But if it's dim light outside or dim light, then you can see normally, but just like in black and white. So
Okay.
moonlight, for example, or being outside, at night would usually be dim light. I guess unless, it's stormy and the moon's out and clouds are covering it, then maybe, but
Yeah, okay, then he's not gonna he won't do that yet then. But he's definitely keeping an eye out on this rustling. And
can you see me rustling, rustling,
I'm
rustling?
checking on the ranges of things. Okay. Yeah, that's so he's standing watch, I guess, effectively.
All right.
Sorry that took so long.
And as all this is going on, there's a goblin brawl, and Gnome just got like it's basically like this grapple fest slash boxing match, and Kaido just threw like Gnome some water to be ready for like the next round.
Yes, that was totally the intention.
Yep, totally the
Totally.
intention. So what's Gnome doing in this brawl?
I'm gonna ask if he gives up yet.
Not until I get your stuff. Yeah.
No, you just got robbed. Give us all your stuff.
Nope, your stuff. You give me your stuff.
You too. And he kind of points at Kaido as like you just go back into this totally impressive grapple fest.
I'm gonna point at Kaido and again say his name in common and say Kaido, and then everything else is in Goblin. Would never give you his stuff. Just so he knows that we took a break to say his name and point at him, both of us. And
So yeah, if you say
and then I'm just
Kaido and
gonna go
point to
back
him,
to slapping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do like, did you ever see like the backhand front hand skit from like Key and Peele? That's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna like just do a back, and this is not damage related at all. This is just slapping, kicking, biting, pulling hair.
give me an attack roll. Is that best? Oh, they have +4.
26.
18, 22. All right. So you you get the upper hand, but not by much.
I think of it as a series of just like slap, give us your stuff. No, bite, give us your stuff. Like every connect is like, I've established dominance in this negotiation, and now he will eventually cave in.
You hope.
All right, let's have him do a roll because you like slapped him and give me your stuff, and now it's his turn to do the same
Yeah.
horribly. Let's see.
I'm gonna
So
roll my eyes and scoff at him, and then I want to slap myself as hard as I can. Can I make an attack roll against myself?
you can if you want.
Why?
That's a 26. My AC is 17. I want to leave a red goblin-sized face print on my own face, and you see tears come out, and say, "You have no chance. Nobody can hurt me but me."
Only I can be forced to bleed my own blood.
And then just for good measure, I point back at Kaido and I look up at him and I say, "Kaido."
Yeah.
That was it. I'm back in Goblin.
Oh.
Let's see. You can give me an intimidation at this point, and since you've won the effective skill challenge, the very loose and ad hoc skill challenge, you have advantage on it.
Nice. Here we go. 17.
Maybe it has something to do with the fact that, like, you've been brawling, like hair's been getting pulled, arms, hands getting thrown, and maybe it's that I'm so tough, I'll beat up myself to prove that you can't even touch me. And at that point, it kind of loses the fight. He's the one who backs down first. And he throws what looks like a pouch on the ground.
I grab it.
Actually, I'd even say at how he does it is he's just so winded. Like, clearly he didn't get that rejuvenating liquid that you got. So he's just like falls against a tree, like arms on it, just like his chest just like heaving. He's just so exhausted. Fine. And then he just throws, and that's when he throws a pouch at you.
I want to catch this pouch, and then I want to hawk a big loogie and spit at him. And I'm going to switch to common for the last thing I say. And I'm going to say, "Now you've been robbed by Kaido." And I point at Kaido again, and then I walk away.
I did what?
Kaido, I remember this.
And he and he scampers away off the
I
board.
shoot an arrow at him as he's running away.
Oh, you can, yeah.
I'm gonna do it. He's like, I don't want to deal with this later. There you go. Ah, fuck.
That's funny. So you shoot an arrow at him, and it thunks into the tree, and he sees it like land in the tree next to him, and he does like the two fingers point to his eyes, and then points at Kaido.
I have trouble attacking. I do it again.
All right.
Is that a yes?
Yeah, you can, because you have multi-attack.
There.
Do some damage. Let's see what you can do.
Oh, 9.
So as as he turns around to do like, basically he's basically about to start doing like a super villain like monologue, like,
"You will rue the day you messed with the Bloodfoot clan."
But in Goblin, well, to you it sounds like,
"Bloodfoot clan, remember this."
To Gnome, who actually speaks Goblin, it's well articulated.
He gets the classy
day.
version.
Yeah,
"You will rue the day you stole from the Bloodfoot."
and then it just cuts off suddenly as an arrow gets stuck through his skull. Maybe it was the issue that he took too long to pause and do a evil monologue.
Right, those are what
Monologuing. Yep, monologuing gets you every time.
So Kaido knows he's dead, right? He's not getting back up.
I mean, there appears to be an arrow in his head. Whether or not he's dead, maybe. I don't
Can I
know.
go
Medicine check? I
search
don't
him
know.
to see if he's got like a map or anything on him to know where the fuck he came from?
He has a
Is that what I have to
loincloth
do?
and a rusty scimitar.
Oh, I ain't touching that. I do not want to know about his prison pocket.
And I guess technically a little bandolier thing. But
Okay. I don't know what that is.
little
It's a
strap that people
bandol-
have, like component. A little like the strap that you put over like their chest. Just like a really small
I'm
storage.
going to Google.
Bandolier.
What is a bandolier?
Mhm.
Oh, it's an ammo clip thingy.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that, but if you search them, it's really just like little pouches like jerky.
Oh, all the ones that popped up on Google are like bullet, 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 bullet.
Oh,
That one has
yeah.
knives in it. Bullet, 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 bullet.
But you
Oh,
can
that
put
one actually
anything-
has a pocket.
You can put anything on a bandolier. It's just commonly, if that's what you look up in our society, it's probably commonly going to be holding bullets, but it can
Yeah,
hold
bullet,
anything.
bullet, bullets. All right. Okay. Do I want to check those pockets? Not really. Fine. Never mind. He's not worried about it.
I want to explain to Price as I walk up to him, and I'm feeling very confident. And you can see that I still have like this swelling in my like cheek right now. Like I've given myself a little bit of a black eye, and I can only kind of squint through it, right? And then I point at it and I say, "We just robbed that snare trap victim." And then I'm gonna underhand toss him the loot that we got.
I guess Price is gonna open this bag and see what's inside.
20 copper.
Oh, well, he's gonna try and hand it back to Gnome. Job well done.
I don't accept it. I put my hands up and I turn my head as if he's just done this dishonorable thing and I say, "No, this is for the tribe." And I point to him and then Kaido and Scooter.
This has never really come up, but I almost picture Scooter has like a little satchel.
Scooter also
And-
have a bandolier.
Yeah, kind of sort of thing. And so Price will just kind of like just tuck this, I'm assuming this small little pouch just into Scooter's like little pouch and just be like, all right, for the tribe.
And what's his passive perception? His passive perception is 13. Kaido's passive perception 14. Okay.
What are
I-
Mike and Altani doing? Oh, good.
Sorry, I was,
Oh,
I was,
yeah,
I was checking.
about
I was
to
checking
say.
something.
No, you're good.
So Altani, as you're making your way just to follow this guy as he's running off with pride and joy in his eyes, you would definitely spot another goblin in a tree. Let's see. Yep.
Okay.
And you'd see one here.
Okay.
And as you're chasing after that guy, this one jumps out the tree. This one jumps out of a tree. Okay, now you give us stuff.
Like, didn't you see what happened to your buddy back there?
Yeah, they
Your
suck
buddies?
they suck at catching stuff.
I mean, all right, if you want to try catching him. Okay, hold out your hands.
Hand it over.
All right, give me some damage. Six wouldn't be enough to kill him outright.
Ah, where'd it go?
Oh, I dropped it.
And
Here, here, try my other one.
all right, go for it. That would hit. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna kill him because I'm sure you'll do at least 1 damage.
Yeah. Let's see.
Minimum of 1.
Let's see.
Oop.
Can I do? I only want one of the. Well, we'll just that plus 3, so 7.
Eh.
He dies.
Now
And
look,
this
his friend
guy
be like, yeah.
picks up this guy's body and starts searching.
But like, you're not gonna find it. He dropped it. Still mine.
That no makes sense.
I mean, I told him he probably couldn't handle it, but he didn't believe me. But anybody else who tries to handle these blades is gonna die.
Well, that's
You
because they
really,
suck
really
at
want our
catching.
stuff? I mean,
My turn. Give me your stuff.
all right. And since we're not in initiative, do I just keep rolling? Can I keep attacking?
Yep. And what's Vimac doing?
Alright.
I'm just watching.
Ah, if he likes
5,
to watch.
10, 15, 20, 30.
Does a 15 hit? I assume probably.
Yep.
9?
He dies outright.
Like, well, I warned him. Now, where'd our other guy go? And I'm going to look at the tree. I'm going to look up into the trees as we're kind of going along this way.
And since you have a high enough passive perception, there's a guy in a tree there.
Okay.
And a guy in a tree there. And they both jump out.
We've got you.
Let's pretend I didn't just walk on top of him there.
Actually, you know
There we
what? I think you should give me
I
a
just kind of like step on him.
give me a
What would I roll?
acrobatics. All right. You.
Do I accidentally kick him in the face for jumping in front of my foot?
Yep, but also like a cat getting between your legs when you're trying to go downstairs. You stumble.
Arms windmilling.
All part of plan. Now we've got you.
And the other goblin like jumps on your back.
I'd like to point behind me and zap him with my soul blade. No.
That will actually miss.
All right, I'll try the offhand.
That would
There we
hit.
go. And then 7.
4, 7. This one. So now the one that like jumped on top of you, there's no blood or anything, so he just collapses on top of you. Now you have a goblin underneath. Like you fell on top of this goblin, and now there's a just dead weight on top of you.
I mean, they're pretty small though, right? So I could probably just roll and knock him off of me, right?
Yeah, it's just gonna,
Yeah.
It's gonna to stand up would take half your movement, but to like get him off of you would be like an action because you're trying to push him off of you.
Okay. Well, I'll do that. Be like, I keep telling you guys, you just don't even have a chance. Why won't you listen?
The start of the emotional damage. Because and Vimac is just watching from here, just leaving it like these goblins aren't visibly like taking physical damage, so they're just collapsing as Altani's throwing stuff at them. So there's no like blood or gore, or even signs of wounds.
But if he's watching, he probably does see the blade shooting out at them. Just little flashes.
All right, so at that point, I have to unhide some other
Oh, yeah.
tokens.
And Vimac, were you going to be chasing after the other guy?
No, I'm just waiting for the minute.
Oh, just I figure we were going to try and figure out where he was going, but that works. He'll probably come back.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my god, more of them.
Hey, get her. She's down. Just like we planned.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30.
Why are they multiplying faster than rabbits?
Or they've just been here the whole time.
Wait.
So they're like surrounding Altani, like pointing their scimitars at her.
Now you don't have a chance. You outnumbered. We have superior number. Now give us your
mean-
stuff or else.
Can
I don't
Kaido
know.
see any of this from where he's at, or am I too far away?
At this point, you're too far. You can hear commotion.
Okay. Just curious.
And mentally, I'll send a note to Kaito, be like, this is actually pretty hilarious. You might enjoy this, Kaito.
What? Where?
See Vimac?
Do I see Fireman?
Nope. Too much obscured.
Really, even though my night vision goes like 60 feet, I can't see it 60 feet in a day.
You're in the
Well, 'cause he's also
you're in a
behind
forest.
trees and stuff, too.
Okay, I just thought this was some map you threw us on. I didn't know it was like ideally what we were.
If you head the
No,
direction you
I
saw me
don't see
going,
Vimac.
we're going pretty much to the northeast, but there's a bunch more of these guys. They die real easy, but man, they're annoying. They never seem to learn.
Kind of know which direction to go in, or no?
I mean, you saw which direction they went in the first place. So probably.
Damn it! I was very upsetly looking at Gnome for a hot minute there.
So are you saying when you're looking at one person, you're not looking at others? Because this is very, very good information moving forward.
Uh-oh.
Not what I'm saying exactly. I was just saying he was upset.
So
I
when
think
you're
DM's trying to give you the ability to come find us a little more easily if you want to.
Right.
Are you going to make
Okay.
things more difficult for yourself, or
well,
No.
or the DM is seeing if you're giving yourself a debuff to use later.
Right.
Oh, I just was asking because like some people are like, well, no, you were doing this. You can't. No, la la la. So I was asking. Gosh.
Me too. I was just asking.
Well. Oh, there's Vimac. I assume I can see him now.
Yep.
Where's Altani?
further up to your top right?
Kaido's asking Vimac.
Well, you'd be able to see me from there.
I don't know,
Maybe.
can I? I keep being told there's
No.
trees.
Not really. Because it's a generic
Yeah.
map. The clearing
Yeah.
just
I
makes
will-
it much
I
easier
will
for combat
point-
stuff.
I will point. Let's see if I can ping it this direction.
Okay. Can I see yet?
Yes.
Oh.
You see you see a couple of goblins, and they all have their scimitars out, almost like what's that fairy tale? The one where they Gilligan or something. The one where there's like the giant who's tied down, and there's just like a bunch of like really
Gilligan's
small
Island, I think.
Gilligan's Island was different. Was it?
Gulliver's Travels.
Gulliver's Travels. That's what it was. Basically,
too many
like
names.
a
I can't get them
Gulliver's
straight.
Travels moment where Altani's on the ground. They're just like yelling at her to give him her stuff. And they got her like surrounded. She's completely and utterly helpless.
Mm-hmm.
At the top one. Or at least, or unless there's one actually sitting on her and alive, he'll shoot that one.
I mean, there's one that
The one
seems
on top of
that seems to
sitting
have her
on me.
pinned.
Okay, that's the one he'll shoot first then.
And-
I wasn't sure if that one was still alive. I see something on her face, but I can't really make it out. Colors all
Well,
blur
there's-
together to me.
Well, there's a goblin that's laying on top of her,
Okay.
but
Is he alive?
there's no sign of of a wound. So
But is it like breathing? Like, can I tell it's alive or dead?
that would require. You know what? That's a good chance to use a medicine. Let's do a medicine. We never use medicine.
I don't fucking know. I'll just shoot
He's-
ones I know is alive.
All right.
One of the ones surrounding her, probably the one north of her.
Oh, a 22 would hit.
Okay. And then he would just flip off a second arrow. If that one doesn't die, it would be at it. If not, it'd be the one right below it. Oh no! I'm gonna. I'm rerolling that. Nope. Nope. No. Not. No. I don't care if it misses. I just don't want a net one.
Why not? They're so much fun.
Listen, Linda. No, they're not.
Linda, listen, Linda,
Hey,
listening.
Listen.
hey.
Wrong
Listen.
one. That's Navi.
I
No
know.
Linda there.
Practically is. So the second shot misses. And since, let's see, so he did that. No, it's still a little bit of.
Hold on. I have a question.
Hmm.
With the fact that there's still 3 more right below her, can I try to run them over like a bowling pin?
You can always try.
What do I roll for that? I will totally try. Just run them all over.
Let's do an athletics.
Okay.
This is the DM allowing players to be creative.
No, it's only a 14. This is my thing, guys.
And roll it 2 more times. Because you're trying to
2 more
trample 3 of
times.
them. Oh, it's 2 because the one down there is dead. So 1 more roll. 14.
14 and
Let's
a
see.
25. And he would literally go.
A 10 and a 9. Okay. So,
Something like that. If it works, I don't know. If not, I don't know where I stop.
so you charge through them.
Yep. Horse trampling.
Ah!
Get through.
Ah!
You rolled a 2d20 for what?
I just rolled the 2. The 2, that's 1 roll.
Oh, I was wondering.
Even
why.
though-
Okay.
That's not. Technically, I didn't have to tell you that, but.
I was just wondering what the
Because I
2d20
wanted
was.
to.
I was confused.
You know what? You
I'm
know what?
Sorry.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Watch this.
What am I watching?
Watch this.
What am I watching?
There, I rolled a bunch of d20s. All right.
Um, suspicious. Hey, you got a nat 20 and a nat 1 in those.
Do I give myself inspiration?
Well, you also had
No.
a nat 1, so I feel like it cancels either way.
Does it though? It doesn't work for
I don't
you.
know.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, so you trample these goblins, knock them over. They drop their weapons and get one of them probably like tries to grab onto you, like actually probably try and stop you or grab onto something like as he's falling over, and he just gets pulled a little bit, and his we'll say like his bandolier gets caught on like something on your saddle, and he's just getting dragged now.
Yeah. Ain't gonna slow me down. Yeah, we all know I like that resistance training.
Don't worry, I got this one.
Alright, I'm gonna let Altani or Vimac do a little bit because I feel like I just did a lot.
That's hilarious. Go ahead. I've been
You want me to trample him
loves
again? I'll do it.
That's pretty funny. Kaito bowling.
I know, right? They're like the perfect pin size, right?
Well, we'll shift the camera as the commotion goes on. Back to Price and Gnome and Scooter. And since Price did a perception, there's a little more rustling.
Yeah, I think when Kaito and Gnome came back, Price would have mentioned that there was a little bit of rustling, but he's just kind of standing guard and keeping an eye out. But yeah, like Price would acknowledge that to Gnome.
What do you say
Like
to
kind of
Gnome?
point. He's gonna kind of point on either side. I'm kind of picturing we're all just like huddled up, like all the mole people are just kind of huddled together because we're like corralled in a pen without a pin, basically. And so he's gonna point kind of over to bushes on one side where he saw some rustling, and then bushes on the other, and they'll kind of whisper, "There's some rustling in the bushes over there, but could just be creatures of the night."
Yeah, it's a little weird how bloodthirsty you adventurers are, huh?
Well, yeah, I was kind of just thinking that I remembered I did say we should talk to him, but
Oh, I
I guess
did.
that yeah.
I won
Well,
the
now
negotiations, and then he threw his money on the ground at us, and that was that.
and Kaito killed him.
Did he? And I look back to see like the arrow through that goblin's head. Well, that's kind of messed up.
You probably wouldn't see it from this distance. You'd see you see one arrow stuck in a tree.
Oh, well, without confirmation, I'll still just give a shrug. You guys are in charge. I thought I handled the situation and we won, and that's usually good enough.
Yeah,
So,
I think the goal was to keep them from robbing us, and I guess there was multiple ways of going about it.
yeah, I think the next logical step would have been to maybe spit on them a little bit, kick some dirt in their face, flip them the middle finger, and then tell them our exact coordinates to our town so they know where they can come challenge us and lose again.
I wonder if
And
they had
now Price knows why Kaido killed him.
any relation with well, the town was attacked. I'm curious if do you know who attacked the town, by the way?
Do I know?
I guess referencing like the goblin factions and things
I'm
like that.
asking Cubed. Yeah.
I mean,
Would
you
this
know
be
that,
information I would have?
I mean, you would know that there are other goblin factions that reside in the area, so it wouldn't
Mhm.
be entirely unheard of that the big Steves were trying to actually. I would say that the big Steves did, because when the Booyogs attacked, they were under the command of like Big Steve. So
Yeah, we
you
were
would
part of
probably,
the Big Steves. I was one of the attackers, probably.
yeah. So like you would probably know that the Big Steves were starting to um go around and maybe give me a history. Let's see how much of this you know.
Yeah.
Like of the cursory knowledge, the Big Steves came to you guys, they essentially took over, And
Do I have luck on here? I do. I'm gonna try to feel lucky on this one.
all right. And I would even say with advantage because, oh well, yeah, you could probably save the luck because you were a part of it. So let's
Okay.
say you keep your luck. Yeah, 18. So you would know that the Big Steves came to the Booyogs, or at least you know your your Booyog at the time, because you remember the Booyogs were in three separate. The three Booyogs were in three separate clans, quote unquote. So
And
you
one
would.
arm was my uncle. He wasn't called one arm then.
Ooh, Jesus. Yeah. So pretty much you know that the Big Steves were starting to ban the fractured and unorganized goblin tribes under more a more centralized leadership, i.e. the Big Steves. So it wouldn't be unheard of that there were other tribes that it's not just the Booyogs that live in this area, as this guy just said. The Bloodfoot clan, you'd probably know of a few other clans, but
I'm gonna say,
goblins are pretty. They go where
before
they
the
can.
before you adventurers and the Big Steve, or sorry, before you adventurers mutilated my family and killed our leaders, there were 97 disenfranchised goblin tribes that roamed these woods, including, Bloodfews and then the Skulldongers and, our tribes. And we definitely attacked the town. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Uh, but then these people came and said, look, you don't have to live as, you are currently in this world. You don't have to be suffering. You don't have to be weak. We can all be bigger than we are. We can be big Steves. And so they kind of bound us all and unified us and gave us a sense of purpose and community. And then, you openly murdered them in front of us and then, ripped their arms off and stuff. And now we're forced as slave labor in your town.
So you do recognize them?
Oh yeah, we've robbed each other about 17 times back and forth.
I guess you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh, I mean, there's always eyes in the woods, right? In the trees. It don't matter how many you kill. Somebody's gonna know this happened.
Oh, I wasn't talking about word getting out. I just meant like we're gonna probably put this in a report. So we're gonna tell people, but I just meant they're dead, so they can't rob you anymore. You said it was going
Yeah,
back and
it is
forth
a
like
little
17
sad.
times.
Right. It's one of our only sports that goblins created, to just kind of lift people up and when they're feeling down and having a terrible time and you got dysentery and your children are starving to death and it's like, what's something that everybody can do? Steal. You could steal from people. And we thought, what if we just had like a running tally through the entire forest, right? And whoever steals the most is the winner. And sometimes we make trophies out of dung, and the winner gets to be marched around, and the losers have to smell the trophy. I guess we're gonna win that trophy this year, huh?
Uh, Bryce is gonna kind of like look over Gnome's shoulder if he's able to see like just bodies in the distance. Um, yeah, probably.
Nope.
So yeah, if he, I guess we both don't know that everything has just been being killed.
I just won 7 points with our negotiation tactics, and then I point to my face that's still swollen. Right, this sealed the deal.
Telepathically, I'm not gonna know what you guys are talking about, and I'm just gonna be like, man, these guys are dropping like flies. They keep trying to take my soul blades. It's not going too well for them. But then they don't stop. They don't seem to learn. They just think that the other one wasn't able to catch it, and they keep all trying to catch my soul blade.
So prices, Gnome can't hear that because
No,
I guess
no.
we only have a connection between Vimac, Kaito, and Price with Altani. So all of a sudden, if I guess you could roll to see, but it's probably going to be pretty obvious. You see kind of like Price's facial expression just kind of change a little bit. His eyes just widen, and he'll glance over Gnome's shoulder again, and just kind of like slowly lean to the side and then lean back straight. Oh. And he'll say that out loud, and then telepathically he'll ask, "Are you playing catch with your psychic blades? You know they can't catch him."
I mean, I was hoping that one of them would get a little hurt, and then they'd all back off because they really have no chance against us, and they
Hoping
wouldn't
one of them
listen
would get
to
a
us.
little hurt. You said they're dropping like flies.
Well, now because now they're attacking us.
As Price has this connection and insight, I would
You're
like
just
to
seeing-
keep talking because I'm unaware that he's in a
Yeah.
conversation, and I'm gonna kind of fold my arms over my chest, and I'm gonna look over my shoulder, still kind of beaming with pride at the points I got. And I said, "But to be fair, their tribe really needs a win this year. They
No.
have so many sick children that they're trying to raise the spirits of. It's the whole tribe really came together. There was a lot of, racism and poverty, and we just, out of all the tribes to have ever existed, they're probably the stupidest and the most vulnerable. And so sometimes we secretly let them win, but then sometimes you got to slap them around if they get too big for their bushes. But I think they're going to take it all this year. If it's not us, it'll definitely be them, and it'll just be like a real rags to riches story for them, and I would be really impressed.
Price, do you relay any of this to me?
Price is just blinking,
Oh no.
and he's just standing there. And he's gonna look at Gnome and just be like,
Did you notice the
Sure.
deformities from the inbreeding? Some of them have like, you know how some people
I
have a
didn't even
tail that's
see
not
'em.
really a tail anymore. Some of them have like third limbs, but it's just sludge. Their bones are really brittle too.
That's unfortunate. What so you said it's a game about robbing, and is it just between goblins? Cause
Oh no, anybody, you can play. You never played Ambush as a kid? We could play it right
No.
now. And then I shove him and say, "You're gonna give me all your money."
well, I mean, it's not an ambush because I saw you there.
You're not good at this. That's not what you do. You hit me back and say, "No, you're gonna give me all your money."
We're in the same tribe, though. How are we going to get points if you said we got to rob other people, right?
We're practicing. You can't
Oh.
make it into the big leagues if you don't practice. You have to put in the effort and really want it. You really need to go out here every day, in every tree, in every bush, try to find any innocent farmer or civilian that might have like even like cornbread in their pockets, and you just take all their food from them, and then you make sure to spit on them and kick them and let them know that you won. They got robbed.
Well, so isn't that actual robbery and not a game?
That's what robbery is. We invented it.
Oh, well,
It's a game.
Like
what if you're
Monopoly.
the only? What if you're the only one that's keeping score?
Well, then you have to have a really big tribe, and usually the heads of the tribe would agree that you're too big, and there needs to be a change in power to make things more interesting for people. And so they do like squabbles and say, "I want to be the chief. No, I want to be the chief. No, I want to be the chief. All right, fuck you. I'm taking 17 of the tribesmen, and we're bobbing you next time we see you." That way, it's kind of fair for everybody.
Well, not the people that aren't playing.
Well, you can't always win.
True, but don't you have to kind of be playing the game to lose?
No, that's the beauty of ambush. Everybody's a participant, whether they want to be or not. And it feels bad
Ooh.
to lose, but it feels a lot better when you start winning.
What if so? So it just ends with robbery? Like if someone came up to me, like you just said, "Give me all your money," and I said, "No, you,"
I'm
and
gonna
then
try to
we
reach out
just
and
go.
push Price at that moment and say, "No, you."
Well, so we just go back and forth until one of us is robbed.
Yes,
What if it doesn't end that way?
it almost
What if
always
let's
ends
say
that way.
someone what if let's say someone was like, "Give me all your stuff," and then you hit them in the face with a psychic dagger?
Well, why would you do that? They're just playing an innocent game. They're just trying to impress their children at home. They want to be able
You
to,
remember
to
But
claim
yeah,
that
you remember
they
when you
won.
were hypothetically saying that everyone's a participant whether they know it or not?
Uh-huh.
So again, like what if you didn't know and you accidentally maybe psychic bladed multiple people that were robbing you
Goblin
till
people or
till
like
they're dead?
people who,
Well,
oh, till
any
they're dead.
participant, again, a hypothetical sort. I'm just
Some
wondering because you said the game only ends when
some
someone
people
gets
play
robbed,
dirty. That
right?
is true. There
Oh,
are people who
that's
take
against the
stuff we
rules?
call, yeah, you can, there's
Oh,
also Reuters, right? And some people are on the juice. Some people fight to the death, but really you're only hurting yourself because if you kill everybody you can rob, who are you going to rob next? There'll be nobody left.
that's a good point.
So I feel like those would be the people that everyone would hate, probably forever.
as, as so you're like starting to make actually valid points, and Price is gonna pull out his journal that he always takes notes in. He's gonna flip a couple pages in, and at the very top he's just gonna write ambush in big letters, and he's gonna start putting bullet points down. And he's gonna look up, and like as you're kind of talking and going over the rules, so to speak, he'll just be kind of jotting down like shorthand form of all these details. Hmm. So yeah, you kill everybody, then you you kind of lose because you don't have anyone to rob. Okay.
Right. Well, even more than that, imagine everybody in the world is playing this game and everybody
Mhm.
understands it almost immediately. I've never seen anybody who didn't understand. It doesn't matter if they're not a goblin or a gnome like us, right? If they're big people, like everybody immediately know because we get robbed all the time. You'll have people come in, they cover their faces, and that's because they have pride in like their organizations and their teams, and so they want to, do the cosplay, and they say, "You're fucking robbed right now, little goblin." And we're like, high five. This is, I'm glad that to see more people, more diversity in the sport itself, right? But let's say you decided to cheat and play dirty because if you kill everybody, they can't rob anymore, they can't get points. I'd say the entire world would turn on you and every team would like probably hunt you down for the rest of forever for trying to destroy probably the one point of optimism in all our lives.
1 point, probably the last. Would you say the last iota of
Yeah,
optimism?
it's
Yeah,
the most sacred thing
I'm
we
gonna write.
hold.
Okay.
Like if I couldn't rob anymore, I don't know if I'd want to live.
Well,
Probably why death's so painful if you think about it.
And at that mention, the camera pans over.
To a mountain of corpses and the grass is covered
to
in
Kaito
crimson.
trampling goblins.
Listen to this. They're causing problems, and Kaido doesn't know it's a
They-
game.
It was a game. It's a game of catch. They're really bad at it.
Like I
Yeah.
said, Kaido doesn't know it was a game. He wasn't there for that. He was dealing with the upside down one with Gnome, remember?
So there's a goblin that's knocked over, and a goblin totally planned out strategy of grappling this horse person as he's dangling, like I'd say like a boot is like stuck to Kaido's saddle, and he's just getting dragged.
So what I'm saying, he's in prime hoof position.
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
So what's Altani doing?
Is she still buried in goblins?
Yeah. You know what?
Then I will.
Since you said it that way, I'd say the one that Kaido shot, like when he fell over, kind of fell like a
Also
little bit
fell
on
on
top of
me.
you, like right there ish. And then the one that was already dead that got trampled. Well, I mean, he was already dead, so he can't really fall over. But the one that did get trampled, we'll say, that with that momentum, Kaido was going, east-ish. So we'll say that one also got.
I'm just laying there like, oh, Kaido, stop throwing your goblins on me. I was trying
I'm
to
not
get
doing
up.
shit.
Don't worry, boys. We got him where we want him.
So what's Altani doing?
So I'm just at this point, I'm like, okay, this is like unfair to them. So I'm just gonna kind of heave myself up and like kind of throw them off of me, and get up and be like, all right, look, you little shits. You're obviously not going to be able to catch my daggers, and honestly, I'm starting to feel really bad for this. So why don't you give us all your stuff and we'll call it good?
Just when they were
Yeah.
starting to win, now you want to quit?
I mean, were they winning though?
They believe so.
Were they?
They're just thinking of all the points they're about to rack up here.
Right. And for my part, I'm like, well, I don't really want to get tetanus from getting stabbed with these rusty weapons. Like, I'm not really worried about them in any other battle sense. But yeah, I just feel like, at this point, like, I don't really need to defend myself against them in a traditional way.
So do you stand up at least?
I
As you
do.
push them off?
I do.
All right. So as soon as you stand up, let's see. The 3 goblins that are alive. 1, 2, 4 are still alive. You'll stand back up.
And I'll ask
And-
Price. I'll be like, will you ask Gnome what the heck is going on? Like, these guys just don't seem to get it. They still keep wanting my stuff. Why? What is going on?
And since they don't hear that, like 3 of them start pushing you around.
You're not, no. You don't take our stuff, we take your stuff. Yeah.
And I'm gonna kind of like I'm gonna shove them back, and not to try and like hurt them really at this point, just to try and get them, like, maybe knock them over.
All right.
And while I wait for a reply from Price.
Give me an unarmed attack roll.
All right.
It's the name of the game.
How do I do that?
So a d20 plus either strength or dex. And I don't believe you are proficient with unarmed attacks, so no proficiency.
So just a d20?
D20 plus strength or dex.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
1, 2, 3. There's 4 of them. I'll add a bonus. Okay.
So it'd be 21.
Oh. And since there's 4 still alive, I will add to that 15, 16, 17.
So does Price fill me in on what's going on?
As you're getting shoved around.
No. You don't take our stuff. Your stuff is ours. We declare.
Like,
And then you get that message of Price.
Okay, yeah. So Price, you tell me what you've learned from Gnome?
I don't know. He's probably still like, I'm assuming that all of this is going on at the same time. So Price is like hearing what you're saying and what Gnome is saying. He's writing down what Gnome is saying. So he's probably trying to focus a little bit on that. He knows
Is
that
he
you
like
aren't in.
mentally like saying it to himself though? Like would I kind of catch just bits and pieces of what you're kind of thinking to yourself? Do you think?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He would probably hear you being like, because you basically, like a moment before this, you were just saying they're going down like flies, and like you're in no danger. And
Yeah.
so then you're saying a moment later you'd be asking why they're robbing you.
No, like why they're like just so adamant, like they're not backing down and they're not running. They just keep wanting to demand my stuff. Like I want you to ask from my part, I don't know that Gnome is explaining what's going on. So I'm asking you to ask Gnome what's going on. Wondering if this is a goblin thing and if there's something I should know.
So I guess the immediate response would just be like, I think Gnome is trying to explain it right now. It's a bit strange. It's like as he's getting all of this, as he's hearing what you're saying, and then trying to parse what Gnome is saying. Also trying to, because this is a bit outlandish. So he's jotting down notes, but he's trying to jot down the things that might be that might seem like they're accurate, and then other things that might just seem embellished, maybe
Okay.
leaving out. So it's probably going to be like a like it won't be like an info dump, if that makes sense. I'm trying to like narratively make it make sense. It'll be like every couple moments you'll probably get like shorthand version of this sort of explanation, but it'll probably come in like small little bits as I'm getting it. I'm kind of trying to relay it, so if that makes sense.
So I'm gonna like try and just keep them at bay until that, and like if they're like trying to like shove me and I'm shoving them, I'm gonna be like no. And so so with my insight being so bad, I'm gonna be thinking like, why are these guys so aggressive? What is wrong with them? There must be something wrong with them. Like maybe they have like a weird form of goblin rabies. I don't even know. But I'll be like, well, you can't have my stuff, but I can take your stuff. And I'm just gonna like try and grab stuff from them. So like snag their weapon, or if I see a pouch, or just take their stuff to like try and taunt them into another behavior, see what's going on.
All right. So give me another attack roll. Unarmed, because you're trying to basically disarm him.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because I don't really want to hurt him at this point. I don't need to. I don't really need to like actually fight them.
Okay.
23.
At a natural 20. Let's see if they can get a nat 20. Let's see if they can also get a nat 20. Let's see. Not quite. All right. So, and mind you, there's 4 of them. But I would say with a natural 20, you would swipe one of their, let's see, of the things they have. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll me a d6. Because I imagine, like, you're in the heat of the moment, you rolled in that one on your insight, so you're just grabbing at anything, and, they're
anything
shoving
that
you.
looks removable. Yeah.
1, 2. Oh, no. Okay, so, you swipe at him. Oh, why did I designate this as a number? So you rip one of their loincloths off.
Oh no. I can imagine I'd be like going for one of their like the pouch, and as they move just a little bit, I miss the pouch and grab their loincloth. I'll hold it, I'll be like, there, I got your loincloth. What are you gonna do about that?
Oh yeah?
Well, I'm gonna take yours.
I'm
He's
not
gonna-
wearing a loincloth.
Yeah, he's gonna try and pants you
Assault.
though.
Just yell so assault.
Can I like gently like kind of kick him out of the way? Like not like kick him to try and hurt him, but kick him to like try and fling him away.
Give me another D20. Another unarmed.
So 7.
You do not. And as a matter
Oh,
of
no.
fact, as like there's 4 of them like shoving you around and like pushing you, you like snatch one of the loincloths, and that same one does like a retaliatory like, grabs at your waist and like just gives you the worst wedgie ever. Like, and this is a goblin, so he's like super small, so he has to
Going
like
for
reach up to give you a wedgie.
Oh my god.
Can you see this and just go, Otani? Are you in danger right now? Is he?
I mean,
You're in
I mean,
you
this
in
is
danger.
really uncomfortable. Yeah.
You in danger, as the goblin you're dragging around is yelling at Kaido.
Oh, I forgot I was dragging one. You know what? Oops.
I'll be like, all right, that's it, you little buggers.
I don't know how to roll for the hooves to hit just by themselves.
Just a D6.
That's their damage. So I just roll it?
Oh, just doing it's an attack roll.
Uh.
Not with weapon. That you can use to make unarmed strikes. Yeah, it's actually perfect. So basically, D20 plus strength or dex.
Okay.
And you know what? In this situation, I will allow it because the narrative is making sense, and he's already kind of in hoof range. We'll say you can add your proficiency.
What is my proficiency?
Plus
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this level, yeah, plus 3. So let's see his roll. Okay, so he's like, I just had you selected, dang it. So this guy, like, he's bouncing around because he's stuck to like your saddle, and you just barely like, I'd say kick, not like a kick in the face, but like he gets a pretty solid like hoof to like the leg. Well, he's
You
dangling,
want
so
me
I'd
to
say
roll the
maybe a
damage
hoof.
for it?
I mean, do you want to roll damage for it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That way you can
Fine.
use that amount to narrative help you with the where he's hit maybe.
In the chest.
Okay. Potent kick. And he'd probably yell, "Get off me!"
Never.
You're gonna
Not until I
activate
get your stuff.
Uncle Kaido at this rate. Oh man. Okay, so he knows Otani's having trouble. He's got one stuck to him. Or did that knock him off?
You know what? Let's see. Let's do a. I'd say he gets knocked off. He gets flung, like you're moving like that direction. You kick him, he gets flung off. Slams into like a tree.
Okay. Now, during that whole commotion, I think he would have noticed that Kalia is no longer just trying to slap these guys and murk them. So he's going to quietly ask her, are we not killing them now?
Well, honestly, they almost seem more like children. I feel like we don't need to kill them. They're not actually trying to hurt us.
Would Altani be
Alright.
saying? Would Altani be saying that in full sentences, having the worst wedgie of your life?
Oh, probably not. No, it would probably sound more like, I mean, these little bastards aren't trying to kill us anyway, but oh my god, they're jerks. Like I feel like they're not really trying to like really hurt us. I mean, now this wedgie notwithstanding, this is not great.
Okay.
But I don't really think we need to kill them.
He's gonna come here, and you
Like, I
can
think
use
they're
a
a bit
melee
slow.
weapon, but do it in a way that it's not going to kill. I think it's
Yep, subdual. So you can designate a melee weapon to, like, if the attack, I mean, as the rule is, if you make an attack and you would kill somebody, you can say the intent is to, like, knock them unconscious. So if they go to 0, it won't slice them in
Can I
half.
do that for these guys? My
Yeah,
intent
you can
is
do it.
to knock them out.
You can do it whenever you
'cause
want.
She said mission is not to murder. So he's going to use this. He does have the mastery with this weapon. You make a melee attack roll with the weapon against a second creature within 5 feet of the first. That's also which these two are. We don't add your ability modifier to the damage. My question is, does it get a second roll for that, or does it get tagged on to the roll I make?
Let's see. On a hit, the second creature takes the weapon's damage. Nope, just damage.
Okay. And he's swinging it in a way not to actually murk him. There's good thing I get 2 attacks, I guess.
Yep, you're definitely not used to not trying to use the bladed
Murder
side
with
of the
it?
weapon.
Lethal attacks.
There we go. Hey, look, I got my inspo back. And so this would be the first one.
And you're adding the D4, which is lethal.
No,
Because
I wouldn't
if you
add
read the
that.
description, you could the runes in this weapon can be activated to add the D4.
No, he wouldn't use it then. He's not trying to kill these guys. He's just trying to knock them out.
Okay,
So that
so
would be just 9.
it would be more than that because it's a crit. So roll another D12. It's 2D12 plus 3 because of critical.
I'm trying to knock him out. I don't want to critically injure him. And
Well-
then here's the
I mean, like, couldn't he use a pommel strike?
question.
Well, that's
If
basically what
it's
he's doing.
a critical, would the second attack also get the crit strength in this case?
I
With
don't
the
believe
cleave?
so.
Okay, so I'm just going to hit damage once more for the
Yeah, because it just says the
one.
creature takes the weapon's damage, but don't
It's
add your
without
ability
the
modifier.
fire. So the second one takes 14. And he is attempting to just knock them out. And that's a lot of numbers.
So, well, that's without the ability modifier. It's as per cleave as written. So it would just be the weapon damage. So it'd be 11.
Okay. I understood that completely. Totally. Good thing you know what you're talking about. So does that successfully knock out 2 of them at least?
Yep.
Alright.
You
He's gonna move
slam
on
your
Tommy.
axe into the first one, who then gets flung into the second one.
Yeah.
He's gonna look at Altani. And out loud, since he's right here, if you can't handle those last 2, I'm concerned.
He's unconscious.
Aren't there 4 more?
No, he just knocked out 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
And 2. Like, there's one way over there. I don't think he's gotten back up yet. He got a hoof to the chest and fell off. He rolled like a tumbleweed. And then I'll let someone else do something so I'm not, like, taking all the attention.
So what's the Vimac doing in all this?
I've just been kind of not really sure what's all happening because they wanted to steal our stuff. And I realized they weren't very smart, and we were playing around with them, and now yeah, this is just like so far out of hand. I'm just like, okay. Just I sat down where I'm at.
Oh,
Alrighty.
son of a bitch sitting on the job. I see you. I see you.
Well, I was also using that as my magical cunning.
What?
The that.
Ah.
All right. So what's Altani doing? So you saw two
Well,
goblins get smacked into each other and just knocked out. One went flying. Like the momentum from the first hit was such. If that were Kaido trying to kill somebody, that goblin would be turned into like a red mist.
Mm.
So instead, it was more like Team Rocket's blasting off again.
I love that. They just need their
So
talking cat.
I'll quickly fix my wedgie and like grab the whole belt or maybe the bandolier of the other one. And I'd like to kind of grab him and then like spin around and fling him just to get one of them away from me so that I can deal with the last one.
So are you going for the one that you've disarmed, quote unquote, or the other one?
Yeah, the one that I've de-loinclothed.
Deloitte. All right, give
Like
me
grab him by the bandolier.
unarmed attack. It's opposed.
Oh, 5. Oh no.
So you try to grab him and like fling him away from you, and he ducks under it. And since he won, so handedly, you know what? He's gonna give you another wedgie.
Oh my god. Do I get to roll defense against that?
Well, this is just, a react the quick and dirty.
The consequences of your actions
Fair.
or lack thereof.
Because you definitely lost by at least 10.
Can I use my cunning action to disengage?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. And which one is it? Is it this one that's like right here?
Yep. The one to your left.
Okay. I'm gonna disengage, and like hop out of his range. Be like, Kaito, these guys are really annoying, and those wedgies hurt. Let's
Imagine
go
having
grab
those.
Gnome. He'll know how to deal with these guys.
A lot of people complain about wedgies, but I still don't know exactly what that is.
Well, when we have time
My
later, I'll
sweet-
show you.
My sweet summer child.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You don't wear pants, okay?
So like, okay, let's head out back to the group. So, and I'm gonna like, whoop,
They're
Well,
still standing
you'll-
there.
You'll start heading that way.
yeah,
'Cause I was gonna switch the camera on over because you guys did a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I'm
so
dashing
so,
at
yeah.
this point.
So camera switch. Whoop, whoop. So Gnome and Price, you would see a bunch of goblins like jump out of the bushes around you guys and the mole people.
You're surrounded. Give us all your stuff, or else.
Bryce is gonna look over at Gnome and wink. And then he's gonna look at this one that's closest to him. Actually, we're gonna take all your stuff.
Oh yeah?
And he puts his sword away and walks up to you and shoves you.
No, we're taking
Oh,
your
don't do
stuff.
that. Don't do that. Is it just unarmed is D20 plus strength or dex?
Yes.
The 14.
I see you had Scooter selected
Or
for
actually,
that.
for narrative's sake, I'll go with strength, which is a -1, so that's a 12. Oh, I'm
Right.
gonna push him back. Oh, and that was Scooter. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's still
Same thing. Yeah.
Now you get to feel my pain. Oh, I happen to have another token selected. Dang it. So with an 8, yeah, you definitely push him back.
So Price gets pushed, and he's gonna straighten up a little bit, and he's gonna look back over at Gnome, and he's gonna look back at this goblin, and he's gonna shove him. No, I said we're gonna take all of your stuff.
Not in
And
this
You're
as
world.
this is
Oh, go ahead.
You're not winning this year.
as this is going on, I get ready and I like punch like my fist into my palm over and over like a a 1920s mobster or something, right? And it's gonna we're gonna lay a whooping on somebody, and I'm gonna actually pause and then start counting. And I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I look at me and Price and I go 1, 2, and then realizing this isn't a fair fight, I start pointing out some of the mole people that we've been hired to protect. And I'm like, there should be about 7 more people back there with stuff if you want to spread out a little more. And we're robbing you. And then I just grab one of them and it starts anew.
All right. So you
Oh no, the cats are fighting again.
and nobody to give him a tall glass of water for round 3.
Oh, just give me a moment. We're apparently running away, and I probably can outpace Altani. Well, even while she's dashing. I just didn't
for
move my
sure.
token because I
Yeah.
was just gonna wait for you to give us the okay.
Ideally, I want to convince these goblins to go rob all the mole people. And then I'll feel a little good about myself, like I just did a charity for the underdog team with the mutilations and disabilities. Even if we, do end up losing a few points, that's fine.
All right. So the goblins go,
Yeah, we're gonna take their stuff.
and
I'm
they
just
start
shouting,
fanning
like,
out.
no, you won't. They're gonna take all your stuff.
And the mole people have no idea what the goblins are even saying
Yeah.
because they don't even speak the language. So there's goblins like pointing swords at people, and they're just like panicking a little bit.
Price is gonna kind of like holler over. I don't know if Gnome said any of that in Common or in Goblin. So I don't know.
I'll say I did it all in common this time. Since I'm teaching you the rules, I feel like it's my kind of duty to make sure you understand. So I definitely said it in common.
So Price
Now you
will
get to make a decision.
Price will holler out, and he'll just be like, "Oh, well, you do know the whole reason we're here is to protect them. So I don't think we're allowed to let them get robbed."
Oh, they're not getting robbed. We're gonna rob them.
No, I mean, yeah,
I just
we
feel
are
like
gonna
you've
rob
been caught
them.
up in the sport of it, and I keep nodding to
I'm-
you, and I'm pointing my index finger at you, and just nodding up and down every time you say anything. Right now, just you get it, he gets it. We're not. They're not getting robbed today. We're protecting them and robbing you.
So yeah, Price is this guy that's close that had shoved Price, and he shoved him back. He's gonna focus his attention back on that guy. So how long is this gonna take until you give us all your stuff?
Never, because we're gonna take your stuff.
And he shoves you even harder this time.
Well, I was prepared for this actually,
You're back.
because it might be my first time playing, but I know all the rules. He's gonna shove him back.
Oh yeah? Then prove it.
shove.
He's literally just gonna go back. If you want me to roll, I will. But
Yeah, you
he's-
can.
okay.
Right now,
Can I try to coach him to give like advantage and assistance in this?
Sure. How would you like to give assistance?
I'm gonna say, kick yourself in the leg.
Back to Rennie's ready to come in.
He's saying that to. Are you saying that to Price?
Yeah, I'm like, kick yourself in the leg. It's a professional move. They won't see it coming.
That'd be a 3.
God.
Ow. I
Give me
mean,
a sec.
Okay.
BRB. Car alarm's going off for some reason.
And I'm gonna BRB again as well. Oh, careful.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, sorry about that. Where are we at? Am I muted? Oh, there we go. Now I'm not muted. Sorry about that. So where are we at?
Catfight.
Price just kicked himself in the leg.
But rolled a 4.
Ah. Eh.
I make this big like I drag my hand across my face as you just whipped it, right?
How do you
It's
not
like,
kick yourself?
ugh.
It's like you
You see
try
that?
you try and kick yourself, and it's more like it looks like you're like straightening your pants leg with like your other foot.
Looks like
Excuse
a
me, bro.
toddler that just tripped because he can't walk straight yet.
You know how you can kick off the heel of your shoe with your other shoe? It probably just kind of
Yeah.
like looks like he's trying to take his boot off with his other shoe. He's like, yeah, you see that? And we're
I'm
gonna
still trying
rob
to be
everything
supportive.
from you.
Right? So I'm gonna reach down and just grab a handful of dust and dirt and sand, and I'm gonna say, "You can't hurt us. We can't even hurt us." And I'm just gonna smear it into his eyes. Prices.
Oh,
Just a pocket sand attack.
I go
I really
stare
want it
into
to
the
burn.
sun. Yeah, okay. I
No, he
can't
stares
see.
into the sun. He could do anything. You can take his eyes out. He'll still see you creeping up at night. Because we're gonna rob you.
We're gonna rob everything from you right now. And Price is like tearing up.
Pockets in your
I don't
own
want
teeth.
this to take too long. For your
Did we
own
get an
sake.
intimidation from that? That was
Yes.
pretty badass of him.
Yep.
He maybe get
So-
advantage with the assistance I gave, right?
I'd probably say Gnome would be the one doing the intimidation because you're the one who's
No, it's
Yeah, like-
Price. He's
Price
the
is
one taking the
struggling.
pain.
okay.
All right.
But wouldn't it be the person who's
Look
actually
at that.
observing it would be intimidated by somebody?
Yeah, this is Price's attempt to mutilate himself to show that they can't hurt him because he can't even hurt him, right? So what could they do? And 21?
So with the 21, as Price is like trying to get deep pocket sanded.
I want to rob you so bad right now. Hurry up,
You know what?
please.
The two next to you are gonna throw up their hands and they utter something in Goblin.
We're never getting points this year.
And they throw their pouches at Price's feet and scamper off.
Wait, as they're scampering, I shove Price. You gotta spit on them, tell them where we live. Tell them to come find us.
I can't see them. And Bryce is just gonna spit toward where it sounded like they were.
He just spits into the wind.
Oh, Sandy.
You come find us at Del Ruth. Rob us there.
I forgot about that part.
And then I'm gonna
He's
point in the direction we're traveling and say exactly how many days travel it takes to get there. Just being all kinds of helpful.
He's gonna look in the direction of where Noma's speaking, and kind of like reach out, and if he's close enough, like pat him a couple of times. We did good, didn't we? Did good. Maybe don't tell him.
We're going to the ship this year.
Well, those two scamper off. Just still the matter of the
Bryce
others.
has no idea what's going on now. He can't see. He's assuming we won.
We did.
We did. Let's move him like there. Technically off board. All right. So I think that's a fantastic stopping point, as per the time.
Yay.
Ideally,
where the
this is
Bloodfoot
gonna
clan
end- Hmm?
go
Hmm?
ahead. I was gonna say where the Bloodfoot clan was looked like they were gonna lose. This might be a comeback.
It might be, and like, I kind of wanted to follow the story beat of the Mighty Ducks, and they come back and win it all in the end. But instead of ducks, we could do like take homage from this goose that defeated them in the woods, right? And they'll just go honk, 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 hands in. You're getting robbed.
In the flying V formation.
Yeah. As all geese are known to travel in.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
Goblins,
let's see.
Goblins robbed together.
6, 7. It took 7 dead goblins before you started playing by the rule of the game.
I really should have asked Gnome what was going on a lot sooner.
Right? Well, I did. I went and negotiated. I thought you guys were on the up and up. You were like, you tee this one off.
That was
Well,
good.
and I feel like maybe eventually, like the instructions that Price was learning will have eventually gotten through. So I really understand what that was going on. Kind of. I have some basic idea that's like I have to steal stuff from them before they'll leave us alone. Okay.
I feel like you're just going to come back covered in blood and stealing a bunch of loincloths and stuff. And no one's just going to be like, we got so many points.
Well, the only blood that was spilled so far has been the one that got hit with an arrow. And let's see, Kaido did physical damage to the other one, but that was more bludgeoning. So maybe maybe blood out the maybe blood out the nose.
I did shoot 2 of them with arrows.
Oh, yeah, yep, because that one has some health damage. But
The one that
Kalia
ran
wouldn't have
off,
any
and
blood
then
on
the
her.
other one. I killed 2.
Yeah. That one and that one.
I slapped him hard with an arrow. I'm sorry.
Plus, Kalia's damage is psychic damage, so there wouldn't be like a blood trail, right? It would
Yep.
just be like they had an aneurysm.
Yep.
Yep. That's why I'm like, Kalia wouldn't have any blood on her.
You did say one of the ones that I killed with an arrow died and fell on her, though.
I mean, a little bit of blood.
It's a full contact sport, so that happens.
But Kalia does have a loincloth. We could just say she had a really bad nosebleed.
Yeah, I
If
do have
if she wants to
my
put that
victory
on her
flag,
nose.
my loincloth victory flag.
There was a cost. There was a price, and that was
There
getting
was.
wedgied twice.
You get more points for those loincloths as long as you weren't off sides. So that's kind of like a really good move.
Nice.
I think it's funny. So Gnome doesn't know that they were all killed because we couldn't
No.
because we couldn't see the one technically that Kaito shot with an arrow, and then the other ones were too far away. Price knows that Altani said that they were dropping like flies. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when we all meet up again, because Gnome's going to be like, oh, we got points. And then there's going to be this explanation of the game, kind of probably officially from Gnome. And then it's like, I wonder if Altani's going to be like, yeah, we just stole this stuff and they all ran away. Or if she's going to be like, oh, well, we killed them all. And then we'll have to see what comes of that.
And also, there's this translation error sometimes. When Kaido says he killed it, it could just be like, yeah, you did do a really good job. You fucking killed that gnome. He's going to go home and cry, right? And it's just like when we say everything's bad, what we mean is it's really good, because we were heavily inspired by the famous goblin Jackson Michaels, and he was always talking about being bad, which is why the Booyogs kind of idolize that, right?
Jackson.
This all tracks.
Well, I know we
It
don't
makes
do
sense.
voting for inspiration anymore, but I think if we were, my vote would have gone to Q tonight, because applause, man.
I
Applause.
think mine would be a split because Kuth came up with this most elaborate game,
Robbing game.
but the way Price played into it perfectly,
He
that was
ends
just
it
brilliant.
blind and just spitting on himself. And just
And that's a
Well,
win.
you know what? But at least he tried.
he succeeded. That was that's one of those. Al Bundy was like so inspired about his moves, right? Back when he was in high school, when he was on top of the world. This is Price's iteration of that in Gnome's eyes. It's like, I'm going to be talking about this for the next 20 years. I was here. I saw it happen.
Hulk high.
Price is just like, Gnome, I'm undefeated.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Talia vote
But yeah.
for if we were still voting. Altalia? I just combined Altani and Kalia.
I like it. That'll be my third. No, that'll be my third character, Altalia.
No, that just needs to be your Discord name, Altalia. The two names put together. I don't even know how I managed to do it. I'm so sorry.
Magic.
That's spoilers. There's going to be a dark ritual about 30, 40 episodes from now. They combine.
So that's why Kalia disappeared. Altani had her engaged and merged with her later.
Right?
I think the gnome duo, one by name, one by species, I guess, was probably my favorite part of all of that. Like, Gnome or Price just working so hard to like diligently take notes and taking it so seriously, and then like just throwing himself into it fully. Like, I got this. I think I understand.
But then you guys had to set that up too, to be on the opposite end, where it's like they're dropping like flies. They just keep running into our knives. What is wrong with them? And he's just going, and what happens if you kill them all? And I'm like, oh, you'd be so disgraced. Everyone would hate you. They would fight you endlessly for the rest of your lives. And he's like, and you're just over there like, they won't stop dying.
Well, I'm just glad I Either way, like I was even before hearing about this being a game, already out of character, I was thinking I really probably need to stop trying to attack them because like this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're
But
but and I still don't I mean, I understand better now that I've kind of gotten the bits and pieces from what Price was trying to tell me through the psychic link, but like I'm so confused because he was kind of busy while he was doing that and learning, and so I don't know that I got a really clear picture, but because for the longest time, like I was with my insight, I figured I'm like, okay, I obviously like out of character know what's going on. So like in character, like what would my character assume? And it's like, oh, she'd probably think they have like rabies or they're like just not right in the head, like they're just all a little
yeah,
bit special.
eventually, if you've killed 58 of them and there are 20 more, they're like, my turn, let me catch that. And you're just like, I can't do this all day. Something is very wrong. I'm no longer
So wrong.
threatened. How do we make this stop?
Yeah.
This is an odd
Oh.
way for you all to do this.
Right? Oh man. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Won't somebody
Very good.
think of the children?
Right?
Oh, the children are going to hear about the tale from home. That's the best part, going back and telling, the stories of who got robbed and who didn't, and who's going to be someone to watch out for in future seasons.
I love that. Well, and I think what would be really fun too, now that they know about Delruth, is if we can like adapt this and like begin to transform it into almost like a goblin Easter egg hunt, so that there's not as much risk of like them getting hurt, but they get to come in and they get we somehow spread the word that they get more points if they only steal the colorful something
We have
or something.
we have a
Yeah.
shed.
I think
We have a shed that we put junk
or-
in, and then we
Yes.
label it just
No.
like town storage.
Yes.
I think
Maximum points.
we establish it like a thing where it's like a Pokemon gym. We have 5 people that they have to go through, and each one is slightly stronger than the previous. So you get 5
Right.
years of people you need to ambush, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, and you get like little badges of honor, right, from
Like
each
how
one of
Right.
the.
did you make it past? Did you get? Oh, did you get, I got the level
They
2.
start wearing these vests and they open them up and show you, I got 4 badges. What do you think? And then building off of Altani's idea, right, where they're trying to like temper this and basically turn it into like an Easter egg hunt or like capture the flag or something. But what they accidentally do is create an expansion called burglary, where you're trying not to get caught robbing, and you're just doing a lot of B&Es.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I feel like we could definitely turn this into like the Delruth games over time.
Yeah,
It'd be pretty fun.
this is gonna be the best town ever.
Well, and then too, like the goblins that we already have there would obviously be familiar with this game.
Mhm.
So it could be, like we could end up having it be like this, big annual, the great goblin ambush, right?
We need chants and we need mascots, right?
Yes.
The
This
shuffling.
is fun.
This is fun.
All right. To that point, it was really good to have. Really good to have Kuth back. All right. So, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see here. Yeah, it's good to see. So, there we go. Getting the raid ready. Let's see. So tomorrow we'll be back at it at 6 o'clock is the idea. We do this every Wednesday. See you. Thanks for coming. We're gonna we do this every Wednesday at 5:30 ish. I'm just gonna say ish, 5:30 ish, Pacific. Um, you know what? As soon as this is done, I'm gonna try and get caught up on the getting all the YouTube stuff over. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right after this because oh shoot, that's from last week. Okay, yeah, so I'll get this up on the Ubles Tubles. Sorry Fout about the delay on that. Kind of a busy week. For those of you on YouTube, we do this over on the Twitch TV/Q222. I do a lot of variety and do D&D. So if ever you want to drop by and say hello, by all means. But with that being said, we are gonna get skadoodle. Yeah, it definitely was good to hear him having a good time. Definitely. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. So I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you, especially if you're watching the VOD or not. And let's go watch some more D&D. But until next time, live, love, laugh. Because we only have so much time on this world. Enjoy it. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. And smile. But until then, until next time, fare thee well.